Listen, listen, listen. Welcome to the Monday. Welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings, where I will ramble on and probably screw up a few words, like I just screwed my show name up. I gotta say that name there, trying to get it off really quick. Welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings. Sometimes can be they call it a tongue twister, I believe. Anyway, thank you guys all for joining. I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. I enjoy weekends when I'm out taking pictures and I don't have drama starting with my name. It is awesome. It actually makes for a much better Sunday than what I've had in the past. But I think all that's over, right? Which is great because no one wants to swim with sharks. So, anyway, I hope everyone else had a wonderful weekend. Uh, I'm trying to think. It's starting to get cool now. It was windy. If you saw the pictures that I shot, I had a lot of fun with the Dreadnoks. Got some pretty good shots. At least in my personal opinion, I'm starting to understand you don't have to get the whole figure. You zoom in on certain aspects of what you want, and I let the iPhone do the rest of it. So that's probably been the hardest thing for me to accept, is that um, you don't you don't have to show everything. You show that later on, like, hey, this was the whole setup. So anyway, quickly, I want to mention. I'll mention it again. We got 39 people here. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. The topic, I will be highlighting some stuff. So if you mention where you found me, I will be bringing it up later on when we get to the topic. I am interested. I'm always interested to find out stuff like this, and I've been really happy with the responses that I've got on Instagram and on Facebook, where I asked the question, where did you find me from? Just kind of an easy topic, but it lets me gauge where a lot of people have found me, and what I need to continue to do. But it's just interesting. It's those weird things that keep me interested. Maybe other people just don't give two craps about it, but for me, it's great. I think it's great because I do remember where I met some of you, where I found some of your channels. Man, I really wish. Um, I really wish I could remember how I found the full force. Believe it or not, I feel like I thought. Now I'm looking at the poll right now, and there's 37 votes already, and let's see, 5% say the full force, 3% toy kind of mood, 8% is Oz's channel, and 84% elsewhere, which is actually pretty cool. But yeah, I'll read off the ones that I got on Instagram and on Facebook also. But I really do want to get you guys involved in this. I love Tony saying, I don't remember sheet. And I can confirm that. All right. I know that for an absolute fact, but I know where I met Tony. And we'll talk about that later. That is for sure. But anyway, let's talk about some things. So this weekend, what did I do? Because I took some pictures. I got Raptor in. What a fine figure. What an absolute fine figure. I didn't want them to make that figure, but I feel like every figure that Classified has done so far, even if it's something that I don't like, I feel they do a wonderful job. I think they do a wonderful job making it so I want to buy it. And I've told you before, when I do these reviews of the O-ring figures that I had, man, they are, you realize some details that were in the O-rings that you didn't see before. And I think this year, one of the things that when I was asking about things we're going to do, I think I'm going to start doing reviews of the original figures that I have. just going back, looking at little details. There'll be short videos because obviously I don't need to tell you how good they are, how if they've lasted this long, they were pretty damn good figures, but just kind of pointing out some details, maybe what they had, different things like that. And it's something that I can just kind of create a batch of them all at once and have them scheduled to go out one or two a week, just to have a little bit of fun. Let me go back and look at some of my O-ring figures because I don't really go back and look at them all that often. I have a whole room, but it's a complete disaster right now due to the fact that every time I do a review, I'm grabbing one and I'm bringing it up here. And to say that they don't get put back is an understatement. So Raptor was awesome. All the people that think that I get stuff free, I get stuff early, I take gambles. I ordered Raptor from CMD store the Friday before. They didn't ship them till Wednesday. And everyone else started getting them from Amazon on Thursday and Friday. My Amazon order actually showed up before my CMD order showed up. So I returned one to Amazon. It's obviously not open. But again, I took the gamble. I paid an extra $15 after shipping and everything to get it, and it didn't work out for me. So all the people that think that I'm getting stuff early, I'm taking gambles. I take gambles of ordering from multiple places and hoping that I'm able to get it early to do a review. So I got Road Pig. If you haven't watched my Road Pig review, go watch that or watch somebody's. The face is not nearly as cartoony as I thought it was going to be. It's not cartoony at all. Matter of fact, the stoic face, I think is good. The pig head, the pig mask is awesome. The open mouth is really bad. But I said I'm never going to use it. But then I had the big, I have a 3D printed version of the big tricycle, the Dreadnought tricycle. I don't remember the name of it. And it's oversized because the person that created it oversizes it and is also an asshole. But it fits him. But then I put that open face and I'm like, this fits absolutely perfect. You can just see this guy, this big lug riding down the road. And I thought that picture looked awesome. I thought it fit him absolutely perfect. And no, I will not do that again. I did finally get a Hiya toy, and it was Cobra Commander. They are pretty good. They're pricey. I know someone said, $45 is overpriced. I agree, other than the fact that you can't get them. So even if you're ordering, you're ordering them from other places, maybe you're getting for $25, you're going to spend like what, $10 to get them shipped. So it is one of those, you're taking that gamble. You're taking that gamble with it. This came to one of the stores, and a store I really wanted to help support because they had a fire next to them. So luckily nothing was damaged in his, but there's a lot of smoke smell. So, and he doesn't know if they're going to have to move out or what. So I was happy to go over there and support, even if it cost a little bit more. All right. And then, I got the dozer, what the hell is it called? The dozer blade from Gridiron. That thing is a big, beefy thing. I don't know who needs it if you are here. Yeah. Hold on. I just saw another one. Just reading what Machine Man said. I'm highlighting these so I can go back and talk about them later. So anyway, I got that in. I did a review on it. Actually, pretty good. It looks pretty damn cool. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I'm not sure. I mean, some guy made some awesome comment about it. Like, don't need this, and then watched another video and said that he's dumber for watching the video. I'm thinking you're probably dumb to begin with. And then I have this that I still have to review. This big Cosmic Allegiance. We'll just call it Mine Worker. I don't want to try and pronounce the stuff that they put on there, but anyway, All right, let's say hi to the chat. And I see that Ted Darklaw is here. We're going to talk about his issues yesterday. But let's say hi to the chat. There are 58 of you in here, so please hit that like button if you haven't. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't there, because it definitely does help. And believe it or not, we've already got one. I've already lost one subscriber due to this being set up, which is crazy. Okay, we have Jake Anderson here who says, I'm not moody. Good for you. PNC is here. We have Johnny Reno. We have Francie Brady. I hope I'm saying that properly. We have Stanley Eberhardt, GI Bro, who has the biggest guns in the community. We have Matthew Matson, who is here. Frostbite GI Joe Repro, all the way from across the pond. Menhoza. I don't care what anyone says. That's how we say it. We have a David R, who is here. We have Jay Astro is in the house. Machine Man is here. Eric Thurman, Snow Wolf is here. We have SCS Dog, Liquid Identity 101. Yeah, you think a classified review of some sort would kickstart a deeper dive into a punk with toys. We have Fatred, who is here, who is also my guest, and I will give him thanks in a bit. We have Sabir Denotor. Delnotor. We're just going to call you Sabir, right? I think I already agreed with. I'm just going to call you Sabir, not just murder your last name. Payne's Toy Sample is here. We have Nolan, who spent a lot of time with us after Oz's show. We're going to talk about that. We're gonna talk. I gotta write that down. After Oz's show, we had some pretty fun stuff here. Well, I gotta write this down. After Oz's show, that. Only 4 people got to watch. We have Brady McBearderson is here. Oh, let's see here. I know there's more people. We have Rolando Flores. Derek Holloman is in the house. Clint Jorgensen has joined us. Viper Scout. I like Viper Scout. Just so you know. Tony's Figs, who is in the house. All right, Ramblers, let's get rambling. Don't worry, we're going to get there. You guys know that. It just takes a little bit longer than most people. We have Crash, who is in the house. Bobby Wold, who is here. Plastic Skulls, who I think already said how he found me elsewhere, and we'll get to that. We have Punisher Bill, who is in the house. I'm still at work for 14 hours so far. So you know what? Make that money. Get your classified. Enjoy your toys, because I don't know about you. No one else is going to buy them for you. Kenzo's Creation, who will be my guest this week on Thursday with a Friend. So please tune in. Go over there. Hit that little reminder button so you don't forget. Judge Dreads is in the house. PNC, who I know I already said because he was right at the beginning, but he's going to stay right up there till I find someone else that. Look, we went through everyone. Oh, Shark Eyes. Man, let me tell you something, Shark Eyes. What are you paying Toy News International to constantly have your reviews up there? Now, I know you get stuff early. I've had reviews up there. He's never grabbed one of my pictures that were done first or one of my reviews. He always finds someone that brought it out, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 days later. But whatever you're doing, Shark Eyes, whatever you're paying him, keep it up, because you know what? It's got to be some pretty good publicity for you. I'm not joking. Shark Eyes is always up there. I don't think the guy likes me because I called him out one day for something else. Ted Darklaw, who is here. Gun Bunny Customs, who was a past guest on Thursday with a Friend. So is half these people so far. We made it to the end. We did not make it to the end. Man, I thought we made it to the end. We have a Brick Something. Again, another former guest. Another great one. Ted says the humiliation. Don't worry. I watched it. I watched some of it. Joe Fan 84. We have Ethan. I'm sorry, Eternia Eclipse. I don't know where I got Ethan from. Eternian Ellipse. It's not Eclipse, but every time I saw it, that's what I thought it was. Jake Anderson. Just trying to read through these. You know, I like to do everyone's name. Anyone that has been here before. War Chest Full of Toys is here. I hope no one else has said anything. We have Beezer, the biker, is in the house. Dreadnought K6, one of my other moderator, Action Figs Ed, who has shown up. I know you guys love this. I think everyone loves to hear their name. They're just kind of waiting. And I think that's about it. Shark Guy says, I'm Australian, we're likable, and don't buy subs. I don't know. There's some sharks that definitely don't like you. I can tell you that much. Anyway, I hope I didn't miss anyone that said how they found me. All right, so let's get to Hella Dope Toys, where if you go to Hella Dope Toys and you buy anything and you use my code APWT, and it doesn't matter if it is in stock or pre-order, they will give you 10% off. And then at the end of the month, they send me a bill where I have to cover that 10%. So if you don't like me, God knows there's a lot of people that don't like me, go over there, buy some stuff, save some money, get some fast shipping, make Ted work really hard, and get that shipped out. Mr. Mad Gus is joining. Hey, how did I end up finding this awesome channel? I don't know. You're supposed to tell me. All right. So Hella Dope Toys now has a channel membership. And one of the things for their channel memberships is they do after streams. I do an after stream, but then that would be at like 1:30 in the morning, and God knows I'm not doing that. So to begin with, they played the longest intro ever to an awful song that, well, there's things that I wanted to do awful to myself to never hear that again, but I had no screwdrivers close enough to do it. So anyway, then the song ends like 15 minutes later. Ted and Aaron are there. They start talking, and they can't see the chat. And they're like, wow, no one's here. Now there's a chat, but they don't see anyone. And the moment I saw that, I remembered our first Punk's Pit, where we couldn't see anything. I'm like, wow, no one's here. I'm talking to Matthew and Allison. I went back and watched the beginning of it today. But I'm getting messages from people like, dude, we hear you. We're chatting, like you can't see our chat. And I'm like, shit. So I call up, I call up Ed first. And I'm like, dude, tell them this is what they need to do. And he's like, all right. And then as soon as I call, because I was watching on my phone, I can't see anything. So then I fast forward to that part, and I see, Ted's on the phone with Ed, and then he comes back and he's trying. I'm like, oh, shit, I'll just call him. So I called Ted and I explained to him what you have to do. Then what you have to do to see members only is you have to make it a public, and then make it a public stream. And then once it's set, go there and change it to members. For some odd reason, if you set it to private or members, you cannot see the chat. Dumbest thing ever. Huge glitch. But if you start off with the public and then you just change it to members only, it shows up. But I thought it was hilarious to watch them because oddly enough, Aaron's wife is a channel member. To say hi to Toy Binging. How are you doing? And he's reading the chat and he's laughing about it. Ted's completely clueless because his wife isn't a channel member because she's like, I'm not paying you to lose money when YouTube takes a cut of it. So it made me think. I had to go back, and Ted, I went back and watched it while we were on the phone because I couldn't see it, and it was actually really funny, especially the way you came back, but the things Aaron was saying and stuff. But then I went back and watched mine, and it was like, it was so bad, and I don't know what they're doing. Like, I don't know why they can't figure that out. If I set it to members only, why can't I see the members? If I send it to private, I'm sending a private link out. I still want to see the people that are chatting. So it is definitely one of those things. But yeah, that's it was interesting. It was interesting. They'll get it. They'll get it together because yeah. Don't worry. Don't get it together because it's just a couple little clicks that you have to figure out. But we might have went into the second one not understanding, or maybe I think I might have messed around with it to figure out exactly what the hell was going on, why it was doing that. Because there was no use doing these if I can't see the chat. That was the whole purpose of it. So, all right. So there's that. Now I got to remember exactly. Can't remember where the hell I was at. All right. So now we're going to say thank you. I got to say thank you to Fat Red Foo. If you want to know where his name originates from, go over and check out his Thursday with a Friend. It was an interesting one. Pretty good. I enjoyed it. You don't get to see some of these people, and that's a lot of the purpose. Oh, yeah, Ted, that's another thing. The stray bullets that I was taking on your show. Let's just wait a minute. I gotta back up the stray bullet train, Ted. Ted had Legend series on. And they were talking, and they brought up I found you, here, and he goes, there was one that Lawrence did. He does a really good job interviewing. And, no offense, but we don't expect that from Lawrence. Like, what the fuck is that about? Taking straight bullets here and there like crazy. So I was like, that's awesome. I'm just taking the stray bullets for everyone. Anyway, go check out the one with Fat Red Foo. You'll figure out where the name comes from. I don't care. He'll always be Fat Red. Oddly enough, he told us like how many different names people use, like how they messed up the name or what. But he said no one has ever said Fat Red. And I'm like, I don't even know how that's not Fat Red. How other people don't see that. Fat Red, hell yeah, it was a good time, Lord. I had a blast. I really do. I enjoy all of them. I haven't had a bad one yet. I do feel like I've gotten better with it. I do feel like I could still get better. But again, I'm just asking questions. My whole job is just to lead you into telling your story. Ted says, you sound like my wife when I tell her that her cooking is surprisingly decent. It's a compliment. No. I know a backhanded compliment if I've ever heard one. You were actually one of the first people to message me on Oz's. Actually, I think you were the first person to message me on Oz's. I think it was like the next morning. And that, because Oz's was still early on, but when you messaged me, that really, really, it made me know that I was doing things the way that I wanted to, and that I was doing things right. It's hard to, it's hard to always judge what you're doing. That's why I have guys that I speak to, and I ask them, hey, what was good about it? What could be better? Because the truth is, if you're surrounded by yes men, you're never going to grow, not to where you want to be. It's too hard not to. And that is why I have, Matthew and Ed and Allison. I talk to Tony a lot, but I don't really talk to Tony about that type of shit. I tell Tony, and I try and pass on stuff that I've learned to Tony. But Tony is not that type of YouTuber, to be honest, to be like, he's just here for fucking fun. And Mr. Wonderful has joined us, who also will be on will be part of the streamathon that we will be doing soon. So, I forget where I was thanking people. I want to thank everyone that came on Punk's Pit. I think we're going to be changing up the format a little bit when we do it. I still got to talk to some people, and when I do, I will kind of announce it. I want to make it more of a systematic, set people that are on it every time, and then slowly bring in one person here for an episode or whatnot. So, whoa, shit, I'm losing stuff. The things you can't see when you hit the wrong buttons.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Alexander L with a $4.99 super chat. Great channel. Just discovered it. Love your review style. Thank you very much. That means an awful lot to me. I can't express the amount of people that have messaged me before or made comments that is exactly what they like doing. They like to hear. I want to be as honest and I'm not saying not opinionated, but as honest as I can about what I'm looking at. And I'm showing you what I am. So thank you very much. Jay Solo Arts has joined in here. Just finished transforming the His Tank O-Ring Transformers crossover. Jay, let me explain something to you. I bought 2 of those. I've done reviews on both the Bumblebee and the Megatron Hiss. And I have said that if I transform them again, it's to pack them away. They are in robot form, and that is where they stay. Because you are absolutely 100% correct. They are a complete pain in the ass. JLS Comics, who is here, who also was a wonderful guest and has a wonderful channel that if you want to find out about most G.I. Joes, that's where you have to go. Check out his stuff. So, all right. I want to say thank you to Oz and the Clubhouse. Say thanks to Oz. I got to turn my fan on. So, let me stop the camera. So, some interesting stuff happened when the Clubhouse went off. All right. And let me say this. We were on late, and I was about ready to pass out. All right. I didn't think everyone could see it. And, of course, once you go off, we normally chat about stuff. We normally chat about some stuff. And I was like, I gotta go, but hey, you guys can keep chatting. So technically, like if I have people on here, I can leave and they can just chat behind the scenes. So it was me, Tony, Cobweb, and Nolan. And either Nolan is going to be the greatest YouTuber ever, or he's like, never again am I going to even think about doing any type of YouTube shit. So here we are. We are, it's just the 4 of us. Now, we don't have controls on anything. And Tony was trying to set up the monetization, and I'm trying to help him out as best that I can because I can't see the screen because we can't pull anything up. So we can't pull anything up because we're not moderators on it. And then all of a sudden, Cobb leaves. All right, well. So I'm still talking to Tony. I'm trying to talk to him. And Nolan's just sitting there. Like, poor Nolan. He's just listening to the whole thing. And so here we are. Like, I'm trying to explain to Tony, hey, look here. And I don't notice it. But all of a sudden, there's a private chat. So if you don't know, there's a regular chat and then there's the private chat. So if you have multiple people and you have a private chat, you also have the start chat. I can still read the private chat. And it's Cobb. And he backed himself out. And he's like, hey, I'm still here. But nobody could bring him in. So as we're going, and I'm trying to bring it up for my best of my recollection. Cobb would have been way better had he been there because he's done this more recently than I have. And all of a sudden, like you see, like 3 comments from Cobb. He's like, "No, you have to do this." I think it was like we went on for at least a half hour, like us talking, and Cobb's in the back, and I'm like, "Man, Cobb, man, what the hell are you like? Why, like?" Dude, and he's like, I have nothing else to do. Like he types in, I have nothing else to do. He's just sitting in the back. He's just sitting in the back watching the 3 of us sound like complete buffoons that don't know what the hell we're talking about. And he's like, and I'm like, Cobb's sitting here yelling at his computer. He made a comment like, "Yep, that's exactly what I was doing." Crusty Old Crow, thank you for joining, and I hope your son is doing well. So, nothing major, but I think his son is possibly a hockey player and hurt his little leg or something like that. I don't like saying it like that, but anyway, so thank you to all those people, and then thank you to Kenzo's Creations, who will be my guest this Thursday. I know Kenzo has a hell of a story. So I don't think you guys are going to want to miss that. And I don't even know his full story, but him and I have chatted a little bit. And let's just say people that have had hardships make for some pretty damn good stories. Gun Bunny was an amazing one. Oz, Ed, everyone, again, your hardships are my benefit these days. So keep it going. All right. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. There's always something else. We got the links. Again, don't forget A Punk with Toys. Prime Day is tomorrow. So, hey, if you find something on Prime, click one of my Amazon links and then do your shopping. That's all you got to do. There's no code. Just click on one of my links. Help support the channel. It's been a crazy month for Amazon for me just because of all the stuff that's backdated. But you guys know about all of them. You can read everything down there. But to be honest, Hella Dope Toys, that is the biggest one when you're ordering your toys. I am Larry is profiting off the pain and tragedy, pure evil. This is why I didn't like yours that much, JLS. You didn't have any pain. Unboxing Art has joined. He says, Prime Day. I never find anything. I'm not going to lie. I don't either. I try and post up on my personal Facebook page, some sort of link. And I'm like, I don't see anything that anyone wants. You have to find stuff that you're actually interested in. Lunchbox Killa has joined us. Anyway, so yeah, use those. They're lots of fun. Looking at everything right here. So quickly, before we get into the other stuff, let's take a look at our hate watchers. Again, I got to get an opening. I got to do a full force opening for the hate watchers. We kind of started doing this because just showing you people that actually hit this thumbs down, I find it very amusing that people actually go ahead and, they are determined to hit that that dislike button. And hey, you know what? If that makes you happy, then go for it. 80s Toy Boy has joined us, but I find it absolutely fucking amusing. All right, so let's just quickly take a look. Here I dropped just today the Gridiron Studios Dozer Blade, and there's already 2 dislikes. I wonder why people would dislike that one. Oh, I know exactly why. We have the Raptor. There's 5 dislikes on Raptor. I don't know how you can dislike that. I don't know if you're disliking me, if you're disliking the figure. I don't know. I also don't know why you would waste your time watching something you don't like, but I love this engagement, and I find this for a good segment. The High Cobra Commander only got 1 dislike. It only has 63 likes too. And then we get to our Road Pig. We got 8 dislikes and then 253 likes. I know some of you are probably thinking, hey, why do you do this? I just find it amusing. I think it's so amusing that someone actually goes and hits the dislike button for something. Warchest says the boo button does it show who hates your videos. I wish they did. I wish there was. You should have to attach your name to disliking stuff. because I think that would be awesome. We'll look at the lives really quick. We forgot to look at this last week. So I've already got 2 dislikes for today. The show's been going for 36 minutes. I've already got 2 dislikes. And as we scroll down here, Fatrid, you got none. So, people, I think people, they don't want to dislike someone that came on, but wow. And then last week we had 3 dislikes for the show. Again, whether you've watched the show, watch my reviews, the fact that you're taking enough time to dislike it shows me that you care. It shows me that you really, really care. Grizzlehorn says, help Punk out, hit dislike, he wants more. I really don't, because I do think it would eventually start to create a negative on you when you're looking for my stuff, when it stops popping up. But it does show engagement. So Todd C says, I sunk to a new low. I asked my wife to look for Road Pig at Target while she's running errands and to ask them to check the back. Dude, they have them. You can just pull up the app and see if it's there. There's no doubt about that. Payne says, I just hitting dislike and like Russian roulette. I'm just hitting dislike and like Russian roulette. All right. All right. SCS Dog says, I've tapped the dislike by accident a few times. I usually correct it, but I may have missed one. Yes, I'm uncoordinated. Hey, but here's the whole thing. It happens, but for a while there was like 3 dislikes on every classified video. So it was like the same 3 people. And DJ 5Ash has shown up, not Feevish, but 5Ash. I hit the dislike button 8 times, so I think your counter is wrong. Tony, what was the one? Oh, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. I'll show you the one that we laughed about the most. And that was, so here's the jumper. The Halo jumper has 10 dislikes. I don't know how you can dislike that. First off, I talk in slow motion, and I throw the figure up in the air. But and Tony, you know where this is going, right? Ramen has 4. I forgot last week. We have 22 dislikes for the Action Marine Sniper. Come on, guys. I'm not even going to say the reason why you guys disliked, if why some of you disliked it, but let's be honest. That is a damn good figure. If you're mad that it's a female Marine Sniper, I don't really know what else to say. It's a damn good figure with damn good head sculpts and even decent accessories for G.I. Joe. But yeah. Oh man, Johnny and Gun Bunny, Tony is calling you guys out. Warchest says Sniper Bomb rocks. I agree. It is a damn good figure. All right. I think that's it. Let's see here. Hella Dope Toys stream issues. Yeah. Okay. So we got through all of that. So the next thing, on to the next bit of business, is some of you may have not seen this yet. A Legend series has joined us. Thank you for joining us, Tony. You had a great show last night with Hella Dope Toys. Ted and Aaron, they do a pretty good job, and you do a wonderful job too. And thank you for joining me and on a Thursday with a friend, and thank you for having me on also. Like Derek Holloman says, Sniper is an easy 3-fig pickup for all the head sculpts. I'm with you, other than the fact that I run out of money. I'd run out of money. if you see them go down, I will definitely pick one up. Toy Matrix has joined us. Again, I am starring these, so I will read these off when we get to the topic. And we have Kirk Murphy, Toy Solutions. I haven't seen you here in a while. Thank you for joining us. I still display the piece that you sent me with my Dr. Mindbender. Well, not right now because Dr. Mindbender is in the Halloween display right now. All right. So the next order of business, like this is professional. The next order of business, I need a little gavel, is the Toys for Tots Streamathon. So here is the flyer for it. I have mentioned this before. It will be 12 p.m. starting on October 25th at 12 p.m. and it's going to run to 12 a.m. October 27th. So it's technically 36 hours. I will stay on as long as I can. Ed will have control of it, or Matthew, Ed's always on there. So Ed will definitely be on there. But the fact is, this is for a good cause. I will show everything that we earned. This here on it is everyone that's going to be part of it, but you guys can also be part of it. Anyone can jump on in between these shows. And I actually encourage people to. As much as I talk for 3+ hours here every Monday night, I can't do 36 hours. Not even me. All right. There's not enough water here. There's not enough pop. But I will be doing this. Again, I've said it before. My kids have everything that they need and then some. And if me sitting on here for 36 hours plus helps generate a bunch of money for kids, then that's awesome. And I'm willing to do that. Christoph Scuba has joined us, and Sergeant Reds joins right here as I'm showing this. So all the money that is collected, we will be buying the toys through Sergeant Reds. And, I almost feel like I could too, whether this is John or D. I feel like I could too, but I can't. I cannot. I did not say hi to Hustle SM. But yeah. So we'll be donating, going through them, Toys for Tots. Again, it's going to be awesome. They have also said, let's say you don't want to donate just because you don't like the fact that YouTube is going to take their cut. If you want to purchase figures, toys, and it's girl and boy and girl toys. All right. It's not just a bunch of action figures. Remember, there's girls that also need toys. And I will post a link to their, I will post their address in upcoming. You can send it to them, just address it, Punk's Toys for Tots or Punk's Streamathon, and they'll put it in the bin or put it to the side so we can showcase everything once it's all done. Again, this is not for me. This is for the kids. And I hope everyone is willing to jump in and donate just a little bit. If you hate kids, that's on you guys. No, honestly, if you can donate, that's awesome. And Sergeant Reds says, we are also doing a raffle at the shop. If you donate $20 plus. Hold on. Let's start all over because reading is hard. We are also doing a raffle at the shop. If you donate $20 plus toys in the shop, you are entered. They screwed up that word, not me. In a raffle for a $200 gift card, T-shirts, signed, faked. So if you are in Michigan and you want to donate, this is one way to do it. if you're going to take a nice trip up here, let me know. I'll meet you there. And you can do some shopping there. And what do you do if you donate like $4,000? How many raffle tickets do I get for like $4,000? If we generate $4,000, I would be absolutely super happy. I'm shooting for 1,000. I think we can get 1,000 after YouTube takes their little cut. Anyway, just watch my social medias. There'll be more of this to come, along with Sergeant Red's address if you want to do stuff like that. But let's get this out. For you, 2.5. Hey, that's still better than 1, right? That is still better than 1. So anyway, there we go. That is the streamathon that we will be doing shortly. All right. I'll highlight this. And here is their address. So take a screenshot of this right now if you want to donate, or how about you just go over there and you just go over there, hit their little like on their Instagram, and then you can see exactly where to send it, and then you can see all the stuff they get in, and hit the like to their little YouTube channel, because when you see the amount of shit they buy, you will be blown away, and you'll be like, I need to make a trip up there. Yes, we know it was a short joke. Yes, we know it was a short joke. That is how I know that this is John and not D. Although I'm sure D's probably made a couple. And Lone Dragon has also joined us. All right. So let's get into a little bit of the toy news. And we got McFarlane. And in a shocking way, I don't believe that we have any Batmans. Like, seriously, no, there's no Batman that I can have recollection of. I might be wrong. So we start with some Warhammer. This is for one specific person that I haven't seen. So where the hell is he at? But anyway, McFarlane and the Warhammer, there wasn't a lot of news. But then they dropped a whole bunch of stuff. So, but if you are into Warhammer, these are 7-inch bucks. They're not the Joy Toy ones that have really nice, smooth joints and everything. Yes, Wraith Mace. I'm sorry. This is what happens. This is what happens when you're doing this alone. So Wraith Mace, these are for you. Come in and join soon. Yeah, no Batman. It's got to be the sign of the apocalypse. Or maybe I just missed it, or maybe I forgot that it's in there. 3-Star Jaw has also joined us. So they have obviously a soft goods cape here. It looks more like it's supposed to be like a leather, probably a pleather. We know it's not leather. But yeah, so here you go. This is pretty it's a pretty good looking figure. I like the fact that the soft goods hide the awful pin joints. Don't get me wrong. I know for a fact there are other companies that use pin joints, and ones that I collect, like NECA. There's just something about these that they just stick out like a sore thumb. Like they could really, really make things a little bit better, just in my personal opinion. But yeah. Sarge says he'll be ordering like 30 cases of him. I'm not sure if that's a joke or not, but I've seen your basement, and since I know you got a warehouse coming, November 1st? Is that what you said? I know you're giving me a lot of stuff. War Chest full. I should always read War Chest first, but War Chest full of toys says one thing I give Punk props on. He always engages the chat. That the other streams have gotten to the point of just talking to each other and not paying attention to the chat at all, unless it's a super chat. That is something I will not do here. I mean, I'll always read someone's super chat as long as it's appropriate. War Chest. But I you have to stay. This channel again. This show is nothing without you guys. So yeah, you read super chats because someone has paid money to read this stuff, and you should read it. But people aren't supposed to pay you; they're doing that because they want to. So again, I appreciate that. That means a lot to me just to hear stuff like that. And I've even had people recently say I'm thinking about just reading super chats so they can get more, and I'm just like, go for it then. But then you become a snob channel, and that's what you want just because you want to make a couple bucks, and that's awesome. Do that. Anyway, we've seen this guy enough. Odin01 says, this guy looks good, but I believe the figure will be the same height as the Space Marines, and in the universe, the Marines should be several feet taller. Yeah, McFarlane would never do something like that. It is a good figure. I mean, it looks like a decent figure, and again, use it for however you want, maybe for a different in a different line. But this is the Commissar. I don't know. Here's the Chase variant. If you want to paint him yourself, because that's what I want to do. I want to paint him myself. But if you want to Chase, I actually think it looks pretty cool, to be honest. But I really do like the overlay that he has. So
here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Sergeant Red's Toys and Collectibles with a $5 super chat says, I never read super chats mainly because I can't read. Don't worry. That's how I know this is Sarge. He can make fun of me for being short all he wants. But him and I have a lot of things in common. Let's just say there's conversations before the store is open that common people will never hear, nor should they. Kind of like the shit we talk about when we get off air. Or Chestful of Toy says, facts. If you don't feel like you are part of the conversation, you stop supporting and stop watching. I agree 100%. I really do, man. I agree with that 100%, and I appreciate every single one of you guys because this show is nothing without all of you.
Welcome to the Creamery.
And War Chest Full of Toys being a member for 7 months. Again, thank you for that too. All right. So here is the mech suit guy. I don't know what they're called. I know Odin just brought it up. What are they called? The Space Marines. So I think he's one of the Space Marines. And I think you're dead on. This is probably the exact same height or maybe just a little bit taller. So it probably doesn't work for exactly what you're saying. But maybe this works in the with the Joy Toy figures. Because I don't know how much bigger the Joy Toys are. Here he is that he stole Road Pig's sledgehammer. So he can use this to hit people and have fun with it. I do think these figures look really good. I know nothing about Warhammer, but I got to give them credit, man. Everything that they're doing, it looks pretty cool. Now, this is supposed to be like 40,000 years in the future. And I'm looking at this like, this is how far we've advanced in 40,000 years. Seems a little, doesn't seem that advanced to be 100% honest. But I also don't know the lore. And I was also shocked to find out how long this lore has been going on. And if you hear that rustling around, it's that guy back there. And he's about to start whimpering to do you want to go outside? Want to go outside? All right. Well, go yell for Libby. Go yell for Libby. But I think it looks good. It's got some nice detail to it. Here's everything that comes in the box with him. His gun, his helmet, the card. I don't know why you need a stand for a figure this fucking big. I mean, these things not going to stand on their own. I just can't believe that's even possible. But you do get a stand with it. Here's the nice packaging for it. I actually think the packaging looks pretty good. Better than most of the McFarlane stuff. So, Grizzlehorn says these figs look awesome, but I don't need another line. 40K been Pitt 40 years almost. Yeah, no, dude. Like I was shocked at how long that had been around. 1 second here. Someone let Roman out. We'll let Alexa do this so she can't hear me yell. Or doesn't. I'm just gonna do that from now on. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he has 2 head sculpts. So, but I wonder how well these do sell because we know how McFarlane stuff is, but Warhammer guys are. I mean, they are psychotic about their stuff, man. Absolutely psychotic about their stuff. So, and here's the Chase version of it. He's all gray. So if you want to paint your own, I guess this does make sense if there's a specific paint pattern that you want. And they are known for being painted, but this is stuff that McFarlane does where, people paint their own stuff. So Buzz Lightyear Force. Oh, Buzz Lightyear face. Hold on. Is it? Yeah, this kind of looks like Buzz Lightyear, but I was looking at this here, and this kind of looks like Bruce Willis. Anyway, enough of this. Let's get on to only at Target. And I left this guy in. He's not supposed to be in because there's more pictures of him later on. But Tony, this is for you. And man, he's got a package on him. So anyway, only at Target. We'll show this in a second. And I just saw this guy. So I just saw this guy when I was at Walmart the other day. So unless it was a different version of him, he's out there. And it's hard to forget who this guy is. Anyway, Ifigi, Green Lantern. It's I don't know. It's a Joker. Like, is it Joker as a Green Lantern? Someone tell me what this is, or don't tell me. I don't care. Ed says it's printable because people paint the 40K miniature. Yeah, but do a lot of people paint the big ones? But yeah. Kenzo says, I picked that one up. Why? Because I have problems. Welcome to the club. Yeah, he does look weird. If we're talking about this. The Joker movie is bombing. Anyway, he does have a couple little blast effects for his hands, so that's pretty cool. And then he has a stand. I will say this, as much as I don't like stands, and I really do mean I don't like stands, these figures do not stand all that well. I don't think their stands are really good either, but these figures do not stand very well. Here he is in his little case, so you know how he looks. I'm trying to read this first. Hold on 1 second. We're going to get to this.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
For all the new subs in the chat, sometimes my comments get wild. My humor can be dark, and I can be a bit much. Think of me as HBO After Dark, entertaining, but not always suitable for everyone. Hey, I don't have a problem with it. But you did have a super chat the other day that I'm like, man, I just dug myself out of getting into drama. And if I read that, I'm all for people being free speech on here as long as it stays within the lines. I don't think you really jumped the line. It was just something that I did not want to say. And I'm not like Chris from the Full Force, where he doesn't really like to say anything that might rock the boat even a little. So, USA up all night. I love silk stockings. All right. And was it Pacific Blue? It was silk stockings and then Pacific Blue. Who didn't want a TV show about biker cops on the beach? All right. All right. And then we have the Question. I think this figure actually looks pretty damn good. I don't really know much about the Question, but I know people do like him. I actually like how he did away with the eyes. The soft face, it really does hide it. I've never watched. I mean, I've seen bits of Reno 911, but I've never watched it. It didn't get on. But like the stuff that I've seen, because you see clips all the time, I think are absolutely hilarious. So I don't want to be that person that says it's awful. I've seen clips and I think it's hilarious, and it's one of those ones that I should go back and just sit down there and watch because I'm sure it is awesome. Rad Toys Galaxy has joined us, and did I say hi to Roll Keeper? I know a bunch of people said hi to Roll Keeper, so. But I like the suit. I like the way everything looks on this figure. I like every now and then when there's a nice, just a nice clean look. There's not too much to him. Again, the trench coat that he's wearing, I think this figure just looks really good. And again, the way the eyes are hidden, I thought they did a really good job where it doesn't draw attention to it. It actually makes it look like why you can't see him. Here's our packaging. Tony says the Question looks dope, but passing. And then Tony will probably be like, I just picked him up. And here's the back of his packaging, not the back of his package. And then we have, I can't read her name. 7 Soldiers of Victoria, whoever. If you need a knight, here you go. Enjoy it. Pretty good face sculpt, but they didn't have to do any hair or anything. You can tell she's barely able to hold on to that sword. I can't fully criticize McFarlane, considering a lot of these companies, Hasbro and stuff, have a hard time making it so some of these weapons can be held properly, but just not a good picture. It looks like it's about to fall out of her hand. But yeah. But I have no idea where she goes. Like, is she an Amazonian? So Shabby says to go with Thor because Thor's not in this universe. Well, Thor could be in the universe, to be 100% honest. Just not the Thor we all know and love. So there you go. A lot of McFarlane news. So we're back to this guy. I don't know why I can't remember his name. Tony, what's this guy's name? Because you wanted him. Looking right here is Commander Steel. I don't know why, other than, I don't know. Like DC has some really, really stupid names. I guess Marvel does too. No, it's Commander Steel. No, Steel. Remember, Steel is Shaq. These are Target exclusives. So he comes with a couple hands. Do people really collect these cards? I mean, I know they all come with the cards, but man, I mean, it's cool, but if you could give it an accessory, and I don't know what accessory he would have, but because a lot of these superheroes don't have a lot of accessories, it would be cool if both Hasbro and McFarlane start putting in like little accessories that you can use to help build out your dioramas. Phones, pencils, stuff like that. Just that you can, they don't give you much. So just create a bunch of little things that, hey, you know what? Maybe I can use this somewhere else. So people feel like they're getting a little bit. I can't use extra hands. I mean, it's cool that you have extra hands, but I can't use them for anything. So there's this packaging. The back of them, I couldn't tell you anything about this guy. And then we have this Sinestro is Parallax Armor. Parallax Armor. I know, first thing someone's going to say, not a soft goods cape. And I agree. But I do think this looks good. I've always thought Sinestro looked really cool. Say what you want about the Green Lantern movie. at the end, when you got to see Sinestro change into the Yellow Lantern, the fact that we didn't get to see him like that is it's a disappointment because he was so perfect with that look and everything of Sinestro. And I absolutely hate that because I don't think you could find someone that could be a better Sinestro. But with DC, who knows if you even get it because they don't even realize what a good franchise they have with the Green Lanterns. But yeah. Just kind of reading through some of these. Nolan says, I like the cards. Would be nice if he would release packs of cards. Yeah, why not? I mean, all you got to do, if you don't want to make it the exact same, you change the color a little bit on the cards. It's not hard. It's all done digitally, right, when it's printed up. So, but I mean, that again, I'm not saying no one does like them. But I think most people would rather have some accessories. And I don't think you're disagreeing with me. So here he has his cape, and then he has his Parallax with him. I believe that's Parallax, right? I don't know enough about the Green Lantern lore. I just know that they are super cool, and they made a really bad movie. Legend Series says Mark Strong was a very good try. I think he was perfect. I'm not saying there's good choices, and then there's absolute perfect choices. And the whole look of him and everything. And Mark Strong he's a very underrated actor, in my opinion. He can do he plays some really good roles. So here's everything that you're going to get with them. And when you look at that artwork on that Sinestro, it is fucking badass. I mean, I won't take that artwork ever away from McFarlane stuff. He does some really good artwork. It's probably not all him, but his company puts on some really, really good artwork. Too bad the figures aren't as good as the artwork. War Chest Full of Toys says, Mark Strong looks badass. I wish that they would have put him in Professor X. Well, if they wanted to do, they could cast him now. But let's be honest. I'm sorry. I will fight anyone to the death. They nailed Professor X in the X-Men movies. Like Patrick Stewart as Professor X. Obviously, Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, considering that's who they modeled him after. You couldn't nail it anymore. Mark Strong as Professor X now, I think would be awesome. Because I don't think you can go back to Patrick Stewart because I hope he's around forever and ever and ever, but he is older. I mean, he is one guy that seems to be de-aging, but War Chest, part of the best, but moving forward. Repet is the best, but dude, I'm with you. I think McAvery, I think he was fine as Professor X. But have you seen him? That guy he's fucking jacked now. Nothing wrong with that. And he has to really shave his head to be bald. I thought he was fine in X-Men First Class and that whole era. And if they cast him again, I'd be fine with it. Just like if they went back to the well for that Magneto. Why can't I think of his name? Who played Magneto? I would be perfectly fine with them bringing in Magneto to Andrew Taylor says Vin Diesel for Professor X because Disney gonna Disney. All right. I was about to ban you. Dude, you don't want your Professor X to be able to military press peace. Only if he's using his mind to do it. All right, this is for Tony because he really wants this Green Lantern. He's like, I love the giant pins and I love the jetpack. Now, I guess this is built off the old Buck. I hear people are upset about it, but hey, that's McFarlane, man. That's what he does. We all know that all these companies, they have to reuse stuff so they can save money, and I can't blame them because let's be honest, I'm not a big fan of the shininess of them. It looks more like it's armor. And maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to look like it has armor on him. The jetpack, again, I do have to agree. Why is there a jetpack? I mean, they can fly. I can never understand why Wonder Woman needed an invisible jet when she can just fly. And it's invisible, and everyone can see her. I know a lot's supposed to be left to your imagination, but Super Friends really ruined that. Like, she has an invisible jet, and I can see them sitting in the jet. I can see the outline of the jet. So, and then here's Superman. Now, I just sold this Superman. The same buck. I believe it's the same head sculpt, but did not have a soft cape. It is a good-looking figure. It sold for a lot more than what I bought it for, which I didn't even realize McFarlane's could sell for more than what they bought for. I think it's a good-looking figure, and I like the fact that it has a soft good cape. You can tell it has a wire in it, so that's good right there. So, but it doesn't have double joints, which I kind of like more because you don't see the awful pins. I know I say I don't hate pins, but I guess I'm coming to the point that I just don't like pins because we don't need them anymore. Superman skip leg day. He needs to train with GI Bro. Yeah, but I mean, when you can fly, are you really putting the effort into, squatting, 315? How do we know you are? And how do we know when you're not just using your flight to spot yourself? Legend Series says, I love an updated buck with more articulation, honestly, from this line. Dude, they need it. The one thing they don't need to do is their wrists. Because I got to say, with that Sergeant Rock, when I was messing around with the wrist, they have their wrist articulation to a point that no one else does, and it can move in all types of direction. So, all right. This is blank here because I didn't have a shot for Harvest Studios. So from the men that brought you Savage Crucibles, they are bringing Collegiate Legends. And the first ones they are bringing you is the team that just lost to Vanderbilt. Anyway, if you like Alabama, here you go. I don't know how much they're going to be doing. This is the Crimson Tide. People will say Roll Tide. What I watched was Michigan roll them. Fun fact, Nick Saban, or Nick Satan, as many others will call him, was run out of Michigan State because he couldn't beat and compete with Michigan. And then when Michigan beat him in the college football playoffs last season, he up and retired. So to all the people that hate Nick Saban, all Michigan fans say, you're welcome, because he ran away. I've kind of talked about these before. Not on these, but we talked about the basketball players. Now, this does not look like these are actual characters. If you're going to do characters, I really do have to say, you have to do Hall of Famers. That is one of the main reasons why I fully believe the Hasbro starting lineup figures failed. No one really wants to, especially basketball players. I don't think people really want to play with the figures or pose them. And also, I don't want to. I don't want a player that might not be on the team next week. But you do Isaiah Thomas. Well, he's not going anywhere, right? He retired as a Piston. Barry Sanders, he's a Lion. Joe Montana, he's a 49er. I don't care. Don't tell me that he played for the Chiefs. But you never know where someone's going to be. So you want to do Hall of Famers, right? And even maybe you can do, that's your repaint right there. Wayne Gretzky, he's an Oiler, all right? I know he played for, other teams. Steve Yzerman. Maybe he knows I'm going back to the Detroit teams. But with these here, it looks like they're just characters. They don't give them names, which is really good. So you can just buy one, and they can be your favorite character. And before anyone wonders, yes, they do have both skin tones, black and white characters. They look like they're obviously not big, chunky guys, so you're not going to be buying any for the defensive line or the offensive line. They're all going to be quarterbacks, running backs, and I guess safeties and your wide receivers. And quickly, I want to say hi to Jeff, who is joining. Mofex did a few versions of Jordan, and those sold like hot. That's Jordan, though. I mean, you talk Jordan, and you're in a different atmosphere right there. And I'm not trying to criticize you, but you know what I mean. Like, Jordan is fucking Jordan. And Wraith Mace has jumped in, stopping in to say hi. Early start tomorrow, so hitting the head night all. Hitting the hay night all, I think. I don't know why you're hitting your head. You really should not be hitting your head after having brain surgery. Just saying. Tatsi says, Captain Gridiron after Fridge Perry. That's all that I want. Well, we talked about it. I don't think we're getting a fridge. I know everyone wants one, and that buck would be perfect. That buck that is on Road Pig, but that family does not want to. They don't. I don't know. They just don't want to do it. I don't know if it's him. It's not like they're making fun of him, but I wouldn't hold my breath for a fridge. Just Jeff says, of course. I just wanted to contradict you, but I did say the starting lineup. But Jordan, man, he's just. And Wraith Mace, who has donated 1 Punk membership. You guys know how that goes. We get to
Welcome to the Creamery.
And it went to. Gotta scroll back here. Or up, or whoa, where's everything going? Just Jeff was gifted a membership. So look at that. We're having a conversation, and now he is gifted a membership. So Just Jeff, congratulations. And he says, thanks, Wraith. Tony Fig says, good. We don't need a stupid fridge fig. And Tony, who has been a member for 12 months.
Welcome to the Creamery.
And I'll say it again. I'm eventually going to fix that and get another saying. And actually, Ed has already told me who I need to have do it. I just have to reach out to him.
Welcome to the Creamery.
And Eric Thurman with 6 months. And you know what? I'm going to just play it right now.
Welcome to the Creamery. Because
PNC has come in and member for 15 months. Thank you very much. Anyway, so here are these awesome figures. Now, I actually do like the way they look, to be 100% honest. They can be able to use them for any team. I don't know why they're starting with Alabama. I like the fact that they have the football already in his hand, so you're not trying to press it in there and make it work. But yeah. And then we have Johnny Reno, member for 8 months with a bunch of little icons in it. And you get a
welcome to the Creamery.
I know you guys love that. And Lone Dragon has obviously never watched a game of football, because he says football is the devil. Because football is an awesome sport to watch. So anyway, I want to discuss these again, because they're made by the same people that are making Savage Crucibles. Want me to say it? Hopefully their ankles won't fucking make them all tip over. Though if the ankles are breaking, you better give us a Barry Sanders because he was breaking ankles left and right. And Fatred has come in.
Welcome to the creamery.
You should get Wood Bunny to say welcome. You guys act like I have like this, like a hotline to Wood Bunny that I can get her to do stuff. Believe me, if I could, I would. If I had a hotline to Wood Bunny, I'd probably just ditch all you guys and go talk to her right now. Stands don't matter because the ankles are weak. They just fall over. The stands did not help that, all right? Francie Brady says, you have something hot for her. Wait. Yes, I do. I'm not going to lie. And Derek Holloman has been a member for 7 months.
Welcome to the creamery.
You know, if you guys are going to do this, I'll just have my daughter come in and say it every single time. Because you know how well that goes. When we get a welcome to the creamery live. All right, 4 Horsemen. Thank you. You guys extended this show by dropping a whole bunch of stuff today. Hey, all right. So, 4 Horsemen, and here is their skeleton army builder. I need to go find this really quickly. So, the 4 Horsemen have a skeleton 4-pack. I'm just going to kind of read this. As the 4 Horsemen were dropping pre-orders for a 4-pack of skeletons to celebrate the Halloween season. Each will be a new ashen gray color and come with alternate heads, hands, and weapons. They will be available directly at Store Horsemen and select partners due to ship mid next year. So it says pre-orders will start 10/14 and run to 10/31. Read on to check out some pics. Okay. So we'll do this really quick here. Beardy Beardison.
Welcome to the creamery.
Thank you very much. All right. So if Hella Dope Toys is going to get this, you want to order these, you are going to want to use my code APWT, a punk with toys. You will get 10% off. Let me explain how this works. The 4 Horsemen, to be licensed by the 4 Horsemen, you cannot give anything a discount. You can't put their stuff on sale unless if they put it on sale, and they will tell you. And when they put it on sale, all their retailers have to put it on sale. But if a store or an online distributor has a code that runs across the board on anything in their shop and in their store, then they can do it. So when this go up for sale, you're not going to find this cheaper anywhere else because I don't believe anyone else has a code for 10% off other than Hella Dope Toys. So you're either going to use my code or someone else's code through Hella Dope Toys. I prefer you use mine because you're here. But hey, you know what? If you're going to run over and you're going to use Frank's Realm of Toys, awesome. It helps support Hella Dope Toys, but it's also going to save you guys some money. I'm not really sure how much these cost. Just kind of scrolling through here. Yeah, and you're going to pay a $10 shipping flat rate at Store Horsemen. You're going to get them a little late, but what does it matter considering they're coming mid next year? So you'll have them anyway. All right. D. Griff says, those would be cool for Army of Darkness display. I don't know why I didn't even think of that, but you are dead on, D. Griff. Thank you for that. You have just made this channel better. And Action Face, that's Ed. This is the guy that works at Hella Dope Toys, and he makes just as much money as I pay him here. Nothing. These will be available at helladope.com for pre-order. So if you want these, please go there, use my code, save yourself some money, and at the end of the month, I'm gonna have a huge fucking bill. It says you missed all the Savage Crucible news. The huge, I did actually, and I actually did not ignore it. I didn't see any of it. All right, so you have a pumpkin head. Different again. These look really good. These do look really, really good. And I can see why people were going to want them. So, just looking at all of this stuff here, and the fact that they're 4 different ones, and we all know the quality that come with the 4 horsemen. So I like the pumpkin one. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the pumpkin one. It really does pop, and anyone that has the headless horseman, they can make pretty good pumpkins. Beardy McBurgess says, "Are these the same? Why a 4-pack? Do build up packs really outsell single packs and army builders?" Matthew, I will let you answer that. Do you think that doing this as a 4-pack is a good idea? For something like this, I do, because this is a total army builder. And their skeletons, they can be used in anything. They can be used with your Joes. They can be used with your Marvel Legends. So yeah. But yeah, I think a 4-pack like this is a really good idea. And you can just swap it and do all different types of things. The laughing face is pretty good. And then we have some swords and some shields. So again, do all different types of things with it. All right. Here is our Legion's Armory. Now, when I was looking at this, and we talked a little bit about this on Oz's show. And when I was quickly going through all of this, and I was looking at all these, I realized there are a lot of people that say us classified people, us Joe people will buy anything. Man, Mythic Legions has created a cult, and you guys will buy anything. And I am not criticizing them at all, because they make some wonderful product. But man, oh man, they put one thing out and some people will buy absolutely everything. Great marketing for them, great strategy from them, but oh my gosh. War Chest Full of Toys says, "Huge army builder. I'm going to make a diorama of my ex-girlfriend's body count." Nolan says, "Yep, I buy the 4-pack before I buy all 4 of the same figures." Yeah, and that's cool that they're making some things differently. So, and 3-star says, these will sell like cake to a fat kid. Fantastic idea. Yeah, I think that this is absolutely awesome. But so I don't understand these. Is there someone here that can really, explain this? They're doing so much different stuff. There's different painted. A lot of these seem to be the same character, just painted differently. But there will be people that'll buy every single one of these. So Legend Series says, will these be at Legions Con? Says, shown below is a look at the new Mythic Legions, the Legions Army figures from the 4 Horsemen. One of the most exciting things to have planned for Legions Con is the previously revealed Legions Army experience. This unique experience will allow Legions Con attendees to select from a variety of parts so they can build and buy a Legion Knight of their own creation. We have no doubt that this is going to be a hot ticket at Legions Con 2024. So I'm going to say yes, Tony, that for Legend Series, there's too many Tonys in here. These will be there. But here's a few look at them. Here's all the different heads that I guess you can choose. You choose your torso. Choose your arms and your legs. Here's your armor. It includes 1 weapons pack. select a gag item. I actually like that. It's not a ball gag. I'm trying to see, I don't see a price on these things. And I really hate when they don't put price. I don't talk about prices. So here's all the figures when they're in their actual color. Yeah, Tony says, hell yeah, glad to be going now. Well, you were glad to be going to begin with, right? Again, one of the great things about LegionsCon, even though I haven't been there, is it's actually put on by the company that wants to, the company that sells their stuff. As awesome as Joe Fest is, it would be nice if Hasbro would actually go to it. How about that? What a concept that would be. Or PowerCon if Mattel actually started going back to it. So anyway, I do think, again, Mythic Legions make wonderful figures. You will never hear me. I can't say you'll never hear me because I can't be a shill for anything like that. They might make something really shitty. Everything that I've ever had of theirs is top notch. Paint, not articulation. Paint and sculpt, figure look, accessories, they're top notch. But yeah. So here's all the different ones. If you just wanted to make ones as a pure color, I think I would have a hard time changing things around. It would bother me. Like to have like maybe this green on like the silver. It'd probably bug the hell out of me if I had that. Or the green on the red or vice versa. But every single one of them looks good. And there's going to be people that buy every single one of those parts so they can make every single one of these. I don't know where some collectors come up with the money. And some people say the same thing about me. I don't know where people come up with the space. And some people say the same thing about me. But yeah, these, again, they look awesome. And I do like the color schemes. And this kind of reminds me of a Japanese samurai. Actually, aren't all samurais Japanese unless your name is Tom Cruise. So, that is your Mythic Legions. Technically, your 4 horsemen. All right. And now we get into Operation Monster Force. Now, I don't know why I just kind of like drank like that. I normally don't. At least I don't think I do. So BBTS is doing their celebration of 25 years. And they're dropping exclusives. And BBTS has dropped this figure. It's actually not Operation Monster Force. I know someone's probably shaking their head at me going, that's not Operation Monster Force, but that was the picture that I had. I did not have a Boss Fight Studios. Except it's not Boss Fight Studios, so that wouldn't have made sense either. You're right. Tom Cruise wasn't The Last Samurai, but The Last Samurai was a damn good movie. And I will fight anyone that wants to say it wasn't. And I think he put his swords on the right side. We'll ask Matthew in a little bit. Jeff says, I'm so tired of hearing about this goddamn line. I want mine in hand. I'm with you. Now, this is not Operation Monster Force, but this is what I found funny about this. This is a BBTS exclusive. This is a Soldiers of Fortune line. Here's the problem. They're all BBTS exclusives because they're the only ones that have the line. And if you look at the shadows of some of the stuff coming out, you can tell there's like at least 2 more that are coming. I eventually said that, right? I said Soldiers of Fortune. I thought I said. Now, going back to what Jeff said about tired of hearing, I am with you, but this is the thing that I have been saying for quite some time. The one reason why I will not hound or get pissed off about them not delivering yet is because they have not taken a single cent from me. Because BBTS is upfronting everything. I'm with you though. I'm ready for those pre-orders. I'm ready for that crate to finally get here. But when I look at other pre-orders that actually take money or Kickstarters, yeah, I'm a little aggravated after 2.5 years of not having anything. And even though I know it's coming, and I don't think they're trying to rip us off, yeah. And Halt the Basher says, how is this an exclusive? All of these BBTS. That's exactly it. That is exactly what I was saying. And we were talking about it. I'm like, it's kind of funny that, yeah. War Chest says, $36. Do we really need all the extra shit? Well, this is, I have been a huge proponent or non-proponent of all the extra hands that Valaverse gives. It's nice at first, but eventually you have too many, and I don't need all that many hands. It is a smaller line that isn't doing a Kickstarter, so they're not taking. Is 36 kind of pricey? Yeah. If they end up being good figures, then I guess I won't have an issue with it. But again, we can swap things around and do different things, and we're finally getting some actual gridiron weapons that will be plastic mold injected. See how they look. But I'm excited for these. I have pre-ordered all of their stuff. And again, it doesn't cost me any money. So if I get the first set in hand and I realize they suck, then I can just cancel them. And then it's all on BBTS who's, ordering it all. Close combat without any melee weapons. How the fuck does this work? I don't know. Todd C says they should have just gotten the price down with Action Force and see what happens. Remember, this is a brand new line, and who knows how many they're selling. And they've completely upfronted the money. Yeah, they're expensive. And would I like them to be $30? Yeah. Would I like them to be $25? Even more, yeah. But it kind of is what it is. And if the market is there, they're going to sell. I've given Bobby credit that he is the one company that has actually lowered his prices. And you got to give someone a lot of respect for that because they don't need to do something like that. Most people are raising their prices. So I just don't see that being a trend that goes because I don't see like car prices going down at all. War Chest says, I dig BBTS and I like the loot option. I ordered heavy on Monster Force, but damn, the weight is stupid at this point. And 36 plus for Army Builders, damn. I'm with you, but here's the other thing. Before anyone says like they should have got them down, like Action Force. Remember, if you ordered the Army, like if you ordered the plain Army Trooper for Action Force when they first came out, it was $22 for the figure. And then if you ordered the accessory pack to actually load them up, that was what, $15? So you're paying $36 roughly. You're paying the same as what you were for here. It's something that some people didn't seem to realize. But if you order the figure at a regular figure, named figure, it was $32. So anyway, I think these look awesome. I can't wait to get them in hand. And if they suck, they suck. I cancel the rest of them. I don't have to worry about it. On a Super 7. Close this door here. The moment I close it, Roman will come in. Not in here, right? Super 7. Super 7 got a Super 7. So, let's see. 3-star says, $37, give me all the hands and guns and shit with it. Again, I would be okay with less hands. I'd rather buy a pack of hands. Well, after you've given so many hands, I just don't need more. I really don't. I can use hands from other figures that you've already given. And I know there's other people that haven't gotten them. But yeah. Francie says Roman won't come in during Super 7. He knows. All right. So during this BBTS, they showed this worst kept secret because this was already shown off by Super 7. And this is version 2 Storm Shadow. Now, as we know, Super 7 does everything as cheap as possible. And I mean that with all due respect. I mean no respect. And the moment I saw this, I'm like, why does he look weird? It doesn't look right. Well, there's reasons for that. So the only thing that is version 2 about this is the digital camo. They took the version 1 Storm Shadow and just repainted it, and even gave them all the exact same accessories. They did the red to symbolize the red parts of version 2, but version 2 had a hood. He had a completely different outfit. He had his tattoo, which is pretty damn iconic in that figure. So it's just Super 7 once again. And this falls on BBTS too. It falls on BBTS. They're the ones that agreed to letting Super 7 do this, and this is what they gave them. This thing is going to sit there, and it'll be clearance for $10 in 9 or 10 months because nobody wants it. The articulation is absolute trash, as always. And again, you didn't do a version 2. You painted him with digital camouflage. And if you want it, awesome. You buy what you want. I'm just giving you my opinion on it. Pretzel John says, I found your channel through searching for classified series reviews on YouTube. I'm going to highlight this. I'll come back to this because I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Thank you very much. Master Hoarder says, as much as I love Super 7, that looks like lazy ass Storm Shadow. It does. It just, and again, if you like Super 7, you know, I'm probably not the channel when we get to that. But I also don't want people to have just my opinion. You know, just because I dislike something doesn't mean I expect anyone else to dislike it. I just think that they do an awful job. And they've been doing an awful job. And I blame the guy at the top, and that's Brian Flynn. Well, at least from what we know or they want us to know. He's at least the face of it. So, it is nice that they have a hand for this, but PNC says, I have better stripes in my underwear. And I always say like PNC was one of my best Thursday with a friend. And I really do mean that. But man. But the $80 ferret will sell out. Yeah. And it's not even supposed to be $80. That's because that's because, you know, they bought up a whole bunch of them and now they can sell it up with that. So, but yeah, here's how he looks. All the hands, all he is the same one, just repainted. And here's the bio. All I do is they change it. Nothing has really changed on it. All right. J Solo Art says, Valiverse was short-sighted in lowering his price. Thank you. But as soon as he has to inevitably raise prices, how does it look? Honestly, when he eventually has to raise prices, and I feel he probably will, he can still say, hey, listen, I lowered them while I could. And he said it numerous times. I will keep this price until I can't. So if he lowered the price, and even if it's for a year, you know, he can say, hey, I lowered the price when I could. But now factories have raised their prices again. I have to raise my price up. I don't think it's the greatest marketing. It's great marketing. I don't know if it's the greatest financially for a business, but I also don't know what his financial records are. I don't know, I don't know how he's doing. Now I can take guesses, but I'm not going to sit up here and sit there and say, oh, well, this is why he's doing that. I have my thoughts on certain things, but I don't think lowering the price $2, and if you get a year out of it, and he's been very transparent about it, and then if you have to raise it again in a year back up to what it was, or maybe even a little bit more, you've shown them that, hey, when the price comes down, I am willing to lower my price. It doesn't mean it's going to be forever, but I was able to lower my price. So I actually think I don't think it would look bad if next year he goes back up to $32 because he says, hey, prices went up, my profit, whether people believe it or not, these companies are in business to make money. I know no one wants to believe that, but it is true. It's crazy how that works. I think anyone that owns a company would tell you that. Anyway, so here's everything, a little bit better look at them. If you like it, you like it. I don't think there's anyone here that's going to say, wow, I cannot believe what you said about Super 7. I'm out of here. But you know my feelings. So if you haven't yet, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. As I said, I had already lost one subscriber before this show even started from this video, which meant someone was in here and they're like, fuck you, I'm out of here. And also, please go vote. 126 votes, but only 74 likes. So if your mouse has the ability to go up here and vote, don't you also have the ability to hit that like button? You might have hit the down or the thumbs down. All right. And BBTS also showcased these figures. And I'm gonna say this. I saw the unpainted versions of these at Joe Fest. I was really excited for these. I wanted these. And I just cannot get myself to order them because those faces look awful. And I'm hoping it's just the angle. But they look like their faces are sunk in. I love the idea of these figures being suited. I love the briefcases. And this digital render, if this is how they look, I would spend the $40 to pre-order them. But I'm scared that when I get it, that's not how they're going to look. So I don't know. Like, I'm so on that fence. I haven't seen any yet in person. I know that the CoverGirl, someone said that it looks better in person. I don't know how it could. The eyes look dead. All right, it looks like someone just took a magic marker and put two little dots for eyes. The other ones look decent, but do I need another Cobra Commander? Do I need another Snake Eyes? I don't think so. The Bat is pretty cool, but now I love this idea. And I love that their suits are in here. Like, this is what I want to see from the Super 7 O-Ring. They said they're going to make figures you haven't had. But even though they're doing the Sunbow versions of Snake Eyes and Cobra Commander, first off, those colors, Cobra Commander looks like Cobra Commander. The Snake Eyes, But yeah. Frostbite says, I took a look at all four and showed them all up close on my 2 videos if you want to see them. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it and I have not gotten around to it. And I've been too busy going into fucking Walmarts looking for the new wave of fucking figures. I'm sorry, I'm not aggravated, but I can't find the new fucking classified figures. So I haven't gone into Targets because I know they don't have them. Yeah, when did they become vampires? But I like this idea. I love this. Like, I love that they're doing the packaging with the mirrors on the side. And it has the same type of artwork that the originals had, but in their suits. I love that. I think that's fucking awesome. But, man, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's just one of those things, and it drives me nuts. They have the whole world here. If people want O-rings, they're doing them. And yet, it's like they can't get out of their own way. I still don't know why everyone wants a blonde cover girl so much. She wasn't blonde. It was like one episode she's blonde or something. And that's it. And I removed myself. And I didn't mean to. All right. So anyway, that's all the toy news. There's really no Joe news that I know of. Not really. So Matthew Madsen right now is saying Paul has Trouble Bubbles, Raptor, Twilight Guards, Stingers, Marine Snipers, Halo Jumpers. You must be talking to somebody. And BBTS has all that stuff right now. And Big Nerdy I saw has a bunch of the exclusives also. He has the Wreckage Tiger Paw. I saw in his video. I don't know if he still has them. But I know a lot of people are looking for that. But, and here, Warchest says, the packaging rocks. They missed a boat at Hasbro with the. I agree 100%. Those classified should have had that box. There is absolutely no reason whatsoever, none at all, that the twins should not have come in a 2-pack. No one is buying a single one. Other than, you can't, like, the buck isn't even good for anything because it's specific to them. So I don't know if they just, if it was going to, if Lenny and them were like, you know what, it's going to be harder to justify a 2-pack to the powers above, trying to explain to them, because we all walked in and saw like, oh, hey, look, there's 4 Tomaxes and 1 Zaymon, because, Granny probably bought her grandson one and didn't realize that they're twins and that you need them both. So, and we have 44D2, and their Zoic has Doc on sale. Yeah, all those places got to blow that stuff out because they get them so late. All right. So let's get to the topic. And I talked about it early on. Even from before I started my first live stream. And that was I needed to be sure of what I was doing. That I was going to be consistent, how I wanted to talk. I didn't want to be like everyone else. And I talked to people. Matthew is one of them. Matthew is the person I talked to about doing this when I started. Obviously, Ed, Allison, and there have been some other people too that I've reached out. I'm always trying to grow, but one of the reasons why I talked about Thursday with a friend was to get to know people. But one of the things that I really wanted to know was, how do people remember finding me? Because I know there's some people I remember. And I know like the chats that I was in, but since then I have, you've grown from when you had 18 people in to start to, getting well over 100 at times. So, but because he's been with me from the beginning, I asked Matthew if he would like to join me today so we can kind of talk about some of this stuff, because he's really been integral in it. So it's not the first time I've had someone on. We'll add him right now. Matthew, thank you for joining.
Good evening.
It's not the first time I've had someone on Monday Night Toy Ramblings. Some of you may remember the beginning of this year, there was a little game on where the University of Michigan was playing for the national championship. And unfortunately, they didn't have a spy that could be cheating for them. So they had to win it. They had to win it on their own merit. I thought I'd be fine trying to watch it. I wasn't, and I kind of called out and had people just jump on. So Matthew, thank you for joining me. And again, I wanted to have you on because, you and I started talking on the full force. So I know that's where we met. And you've had so much, you've had so much with the success of the channel. But what is it, like, honestly, like, what is it that made you stick around to be here?
Well, I mean, it was the clarity of what you wanted to do, the consistency that you brought, and the honest opinion. I mean, I've always been one of those weird people who tried to mix and meld and fit in all these different groups, but I never fit in any of them because I was always doing my own thing. And, the opposite of whatever was trendy is the direction I went in. So that punk attitude has always been a part of who I am. And so I really appreciated that. And then I mean, you were honest, you're transparent. I mean, you're abrasive, whatever. I don't mind that part. That part's kind of cool. But
Me? I don't know what you're talking about.
I just always engage with that kind of content, and it's because it's honest. And I guess that's what it ultimately comes down to. It's an honest appraisal about where you're at and what you're seeing and how you feel about something. And, you can feel free to disagree. That's great. Creates a great discussion. You know me, I like to argue.
You? Should I get Ed on right now to confirm that? Believe me, when I get messages when we're on somewhere like Matthew would argue with anyone, I'm like, really well. No, and again, you run out of topics when you try and be a topic based because people want to hear the topic. And sometimes you just need an easy one. But again, I don't know if you consider it, I don't know if you consider it research, but I do like to see like how did people find me? What was the biggest thing? And as I'm looking here at the, at the poll, only 5% from the full force, 3% from a toy kind of mood, 7% from the clubhouse. Now that doesn't shock me because I'm on every week. And other is 84%. So what it tells me is I need to stop wasting my time with the toy kind of mood and focus more on the full force.
Well, I think it also shows that you hit the wave at the right time of classified reviews when a lot of new people were entering in the collecting market, as you'll see in these star chats that you're going to bring up. Because not everybody got into classified from the beginning. People came in a year or two later, or later than that. They're still coming in, and you're one of those reviews. You hit the algorithm, and if people are searching for classified reviews, yours would come up, and people were like, "Oh, I like this guy's style." And it's how I found most of the toy tubers that I followed was just what the algorithm presented me. And then I kept clicking on their stuff because I liked their personality. I liked what they had to offer, the camera angle, the voice, the production quality, whatever.
And there's been, I've read a whole bunch, and it even like, I was doing some stuff a while back where I said, I'm talking to Bobby B, and I'm like, I really hate that you always get stuff before me because it does help to. There is a competitive balance between us, I believe, but it's all in good fun. But when you go look at the algorithm, I'm looking at like where people came in to find videos, and 50% of them are from Bobby B.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at mine, and probably 50% of mine send the people watching mine to Bobby's. So again, we're kind of, we're working together when we're not even working together.
right.
But it's just interesting. And when I start realizing that people not just search the algorithm, but certain videos end. And then it's like, hey, this is where I'm going to send you.
Mm-hmm.
And when I hear some of them, you're kind of like, really? So Chris, I want to read some of them that I got here on Facebook. And I'm actually very thankful that people actually post it. 'Cause anytime I ask for something, oh man, this really makes me look bright. Uh, you never. I forget what I'm saying. Anytime I ask someone like, "Hey, why don't you guys do this?" People like they don't like do anything. I'm like, why waste my time? Like, hey, send me pictures. I want to do this topic. No one says anything. And you brought Splastic says, I recall a few videos where like you were doing reviews that looked like it was on top of your stove.
I remember that one.
So I don't think I did reviews on it. I used to take pictures on my stove.
Yeah, that was probably it.
Because I used to put it in a center warmer, and I thought it was really cool. To my buddy that I skate with, he's a photographer, and he was like, "Yeah." My girlfriend was like, "He can do better than putting it on his stove." I'm like, I like the way it fits in the circle. He goes, "I do too," but she was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I know.
So James Virrigan says it didn't. I didn't find it. It found me. J.R. Howard. Now, I like this one. Now, very few of you are going to remember this. He says, I've been watching your collection tour videos since you were punk rock skate dad. I've mentioned that's my personal Instagram. That's how I used to go, especially at RAH. When started catching your reviews, when you ramp those up and try catching your lives on replay. So these are all from the Facebook. Jake Anderson, it was a review, or I stumbled across you on Oz's Clubhouse. Can't remember which one. James, I'm gonna torch you. I'm sorry, Chris. James, Chris, BUJ. I'm not gonna. He says yours was connected to an island of irrelevant. I clicked and never went back.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of those in here too that I've seen tonight.
Like Viper Island. It says, saw your comments on the Full Force live chat, possibly others, then saw you talking to Chad on a stream, then subscribed to your channel. So that was the one time that I was on with Chad, and then I was never asked to come back. And that's one where some of those guys don't like the fact that I said something about them towards the end. So I remember that. Very fondly. And Arthur kind of says, it was recommended after watching some of the more boring channels, and I was hooked. If you remember, I would always talk to you right after this. And I remember I asked you, I go, I just don't want to be boring. And your response was, oh, you're anything but boring. Yeah, so but let's just go through some of these. I don't know if you want to bring them up, or I can bring them up.
Yeah, go ahead and because there should be a bunch in the starred folder, because you were putting them in. I've added some more.
Okay, so Jay Astro says, found you last year, late November, when I went all in, 90% in on the classified line and was looking for a buzzer review. I don't know if you guys noticed, I was the first one to have buzzer. And that was the first time I got to see what it was like to have a figure first before anyone. And I say you don't have to be first, but man, it does help.
There's a nice little boost.
Nolan here, Punk in chat would probably be Mega J or Oz's. I was only on Mega J. I've only been on Mega J a couple times.
Yeah, but you were in the chat.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's. You know what I hate about the chat is I can click on you and see who you are because I'm the host, but Jay Astro can't click on Nolan here and take him to his YouTube channel. I really wish that YouTube would fix that, because that's how you find people.
And you used to be able to do that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and then it was a YouTube measure to protect chats and protect people in chats from the average person. but a wrench or an administrator or the channel owner can go and find your activity and find your channel and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's why I always I say something, and next thing I know, I'm getting a text with a screenshot of going, yeah, the guy's been here for like past 20 episodes, right? But it's not
unfortunately it doesn't show name changes. So if you change your name, it retroactively fills in all the name changes that you had in the previous chats to your new name.
Oh, okay. Well, and for me, like a punk with toys, that's easy to find.
Yeah.
It's 4 easy words, and there's not going to be too many. But, again, you're trying to look for, Nolan. Well, how many Nolans are there? And if you don't find his exact, Allison does a wonderful job of finding things.
Oh yeah.
Let me, like, she was the one who sent me all the stuff about Toy Crustacean.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see a comment from him how he found the channel. Payne here says, I honestly don't remember. Payne, I found you through, I don't remember how I found Oz, but I remember Payne doing the thing, and I believe I watched his first episode, and I believe it was with Highly Articulated, or maybe it was Brick. But I believe Payne is all through Oz's. But I don't remember how I found Oz's. So
nobody remembers how they get to Oz.
no. All right. Clint Jorgensen says, I first heard of you when Graf said that Punk said the Cat's Lair wouldn't fund. Shared that before, so word of mouth. I will stand by the fact that thing should not have funded, but Super 7 was never going to let it fail. Right. I was right, damn it. I don't care what anyone says. You show me the proof of the numbers, because when it jumped up 2,000 out of nowhere, when it didn't move more than like 20 in 2 weeks, it's bullshit. Bobby, I'll let you read this one.
It was either the Toy Enhancers channel that I heard about it, or Iron Ken feuding with you, one or the other.
See, I had to have Matthew on it because I'm not allowed to say that name on my channel. Either way, Bobby, I know I found out about you from Aaron's, because you were always winning, and like, I'm like, I can't type any faster. There's no way. And even some of them, like, my name would be first, and I wasn't the only one that experienced it. So.
Well, maybe he was just 10 seconds in the future.
Maybe. I can tell you right now that on this screen here, we're way behind, and it's and then Sabir here says, I believe I came across this channel with YouTube's own algorithm. I had just started classified collecting and had watched a few channel vids and came up Lawrence's own channel, and I subbed. I remember when you came around. It's crazy that I can remember some, and I think the name is so unique, considering I still can't. How do you say this? You know how to pronounce it?
Sabir. Yeah.
Sabir Del Norte.
Del Norte? Yeah.
See, it's real easy to say when you're not trying to read it all by yourself. And you're trying to get through shit. Make sure you highlight this. Or start the one from Coco Smooth.
I already did. Yeah.
Okay. So again, I'll let you read this one.
Another one, huh? I found you when I was researching buying the Vanguard.
It's really funny because I've had so many people. Man, I whistled. I've had so many people reach out and say, like, I found you while I was trying to buy the Vanguard, and I really enjoyed your review. Which is odd, because from what I was told, that it was super negative, and that it was.
Yeah, they all hate you for your review because.
Yeah, like, again, most of there's so many people like, yeah, I watched your review and it made me buy it. Like, awesome, like it was just there to showcase what's on it. And someone recently made a comment and said, "So what's your opinion of it?" Like, and it got lost. So I have to eventually get to it. I don't have an opinion. It's a fine vehicle. It's not for me. I don't think it's worth $185 for me. If I'm going to spend that much money, I want it to be something that either knocks me away or something that's nostalgia based, which is also a line killer right here.
Yeah.
Snow Wolf just says, one of your reviews showed up in my feed. See, and this is the type of stuff that I like to find out about.
Yeah.
Like things are just showing up because, my own feed, my own videos don't show up in my feed anymore. And my most recent guest, Fat Tread, random diorama show when Ed before Toilet, then Oz, then you. Man, I'm like way down there. But it's weird when when people start showing up in your chat that you've seen in other places, like Geek Dad Life and Toy Anxiety, like places like that. And when they're when you're showing up, and I think I was talking about it this week. A lot of these people that you would see, like Thanos Copter, Highly Articulated, Brick, I thought they were like really big channels because they know them. And then you find out that some of them are very small channels. Thanos really isn't even a channel. I've never seen a guy try so hard to get banned and they just won't ban him. Viper Scout. I found Full Force indirectly by Viper Island. I found Viper Island too. And I think a lot of us were, I thought it was a really good channel at first. And then you start realizing when you start doing the research.
Yeah, I forgot what it was, but I never really watched any of his videos. I saw a couple of them. I commented on it, and I think he blocked me or something after that just because I mentioned, hey, that's not entirely accurate or something. Or why are you, reposting other people's stuff? Maybe it's something like that.
Oh, there's, who wants
I definitely unsubbed after the Toy Kind of Mood thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, wow, man, that was such a, whether you like, the whole Toy Kind of Mood guys or whatever, and I'm not saying I don't because I'm actually friends with them. Anyone that could stay sub to him after finding that type of stuff out made no sense.
Yeah, when you realize that he just completely ripped off an entire interview, cropped out the people that were doing the interview, and cut it so he would be in it, it was ridiculous. He's done it like at least a half dozen times.
Oh yeah, but it's like if I had really been sending copyright strikes towards Shark News, then you know what? Why would anyone stay here? Why would because it shows the type of person you actually are.
Yeah,
that you're doing stuff like that. And what I was accused of doing, I think is way worse than even just stealing someone's content. To be 100% honest, because you're basically saying, you know what, you don't deserve to be on here.
Yeah.
Well,
you didn't ask me.
What for?
How I found you.
Oh, well, why don't you tell everyone how you found me then? Because it's gonna be like this one, I think.
Well, it's sort of, yeah. It actually, I think that I heard Geek Dad Life read one of your chats. So I had heard you in another person's chat, and then you were in Full Force, and you asked a question or commented on something that maybe I had said or something, because I found these little Dollar Tree backpacks for the bat that worked amazing for them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And so then I found you on Instagram and showed you some pictures and stuff like that. And then we started talking back and forth and going from there. And, I started watching your reviews. I'm like, this is cool. And so we had more and more conversations about YouTube channels. And I'm been a wrench on some pretty big channels. Still am a wrench on some other big channels, and I see how the growth happens and the things that are really helpful. And you took some of those ideas and you ran with them, and here we are, a 3-hour tour. But I still stand by those backpacks, man. I got a bunch of those for the version 1 bats. They had like the 4 little arms that could come off over the top, and they looked vicious, but they were really cool.
I when I was going through my Motu stuff, getting rid of it, I still have one unopened package. I think they only had 2 when I bought them, so I had 2. One has it on it, and you need some sticky tack because it does want to pop off, but they're $125.
Yeah,
and the detail is perfectly fine, and they match the bat perfect.
Yep.
So if anyone has a Dollar General, there's maybe I have to. I don't even know where I have the one that's opened. I know I don't have it on the bat anymore.
Yeah, Final Faction.
Yeah, Final Faction and Dollar General. They have this package or this backpack
accessory pack.
All the accessories, and they fit perfect. You just need a little bit of sticky tack, or it pushes out of the bats.
I never had a problem with mine. Mine never needed any sticky tack. They're still in there.
Maybe it's just that one. Because I only had one that I believe I only opened one. Like I said, I know I have one that's completely sealed. I'm waiting for it to be worth like $100. Then I'll sell it. But yeah, Shark says, pretty sure I came across you in the Full Force chat. It's been all downhill since then. Well, you were the first pre-recorded Thursday with a friend, so I could not do it while I was in Disney. And I just remember being in line for the Haunted Mansion, and I'm trying to listen to a little bit while we're in the line. And it's just like trying to read it because I'm like, I'm glad that he was there. I'm glad that Adam was in the chat, because I hate when you do something like that and no one's there. You know, you're doing what are they called? Premiere, and the person's not there. And it's kind of funny because last night, Legends here was talking about how he used to do premieres and didn't realize it was like a live chat. And then he finds out that someone like thinks he's like totally ghosting him, and there's only like 2 people watching it.
I had to bring that up to somebody else who I believe was putting out videos that they didn't know were premiere videos and what a premiere video was, because he then recently changed it and he just drops the videos now. Because I was like, I was in the live chat last night. What's going on? Did you not realize that that's what a premiere does? That there's a live chat with it? What are you talking about? I'm like, okay.
Machine Man. I had to look it up. March 2022, Valorverse Action Force Scarab's hip replacement. Go figure.
Yep.
I remember someone made a comment like, I was so worried you were going to cut yourself with the razor. I use razors all the time. It's always more frustrating, much more frustrating to watch something like that when you're not in control.
Yeah.
And it wasn't live, so I obviously I'm not that guy to put it up there and watch my hand get sliced open. Machine Man said, you have to read this one.
Found you after watching a pretty crazy IK3K subbed because of the genuine respect and dignity that you treat the hobby, toy makers, and other channels. Really? I don't think some of those toy makers think that same thing.
No, not at all. See, this, I like this. This is a good one here.
Yeah.
So, Menhoza found. I like that on this show, you guys were able to get him to change his name, so we knew. And now I'm just like, no, it's Menhoza. It's not Menjo. It's Menhoza. Find you by your review on removing paint with Paintbrush Restore. The first live once a man drawing. Okay. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, sorry. You need to put it in quotations.
Once a man again, because you remember he changed his name from.
Yeah. No, I'm glad. I'm sure other people have how to take that paint off, but it's not that easy to find. Everyone always say, just go get, you know, this Windsor and Newton. Actually, they would say, go get Windsor and Newton. It's Windsor and Newton.
Yeah.
And then come to find out, well, it's discontinued.
No, of
So the
course.
stuff they have sucks.
I don't think that I do. I got mixed up in a bit of it a while back, which may have started some other stuff with the division in some of the people here, because some people don't have a sense of humor. I don't know. Some people are a little monotone.
Yeah, Matthew being associated with me isn't always the greatest thing for him. Beezer the Biker, evening everyone. I found you in a Google search for classified figures. I think a certain one that you covered. Well, I would guess to be a certain one. And Beezer, he made a comment earlier that he's new to it. So where he is a Mad Max collector, but now he said he's kind of run out of stuff to buy, so now he's moved into classified. Like, good luck. Enjoy not having money even more than what you probably don't now. And you have War Chest here. I remember seeing some of your first videos. I apologize to everyone that had to watch those because they were pretty bad. War Chest says, the one thing I liked about your first videos, even if they were really bad, you were doing it, getting it done, no fucks given, and you have to start somewhere. And that, dude, War Chest, that is exactly why I leave them there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not that I feel like my videos are great now, but I feel like I have a presence. I know what I'm doing. You can see when I get flustered. And you can hear when I get flustered. If there's too much stuff on my table, I get flustered. Like, it bothers me. But we all start somewhere. And I let people go back and watch those videos. And not a lot of people do because some of them have like 58 views. And believe me, I'm not asking anyone to go back and watch them because some are really bad. But we all start somewhere. I mean, they always say like the first thing to do is seriously just turn on the camera and start talking. And that's why I'm no different than anyone here. Other than I'm willing to put my face out here, give my opinion. Not everyone's willing to do that. And it's perfectly fine. Actually, I appreciate it because it's less competition for me. We got back from Joe Fest, and next thing you know, everyone's doing a live stream, and we're like, what the fuck? Mr. Wonderful, I found the station due to Viper Island, to be 100% honest. And I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
Mr. Wonderful was one of the last people, I believe, who was willing to give up on Viper Island. I don't know.
I mean, there's still a bunch of people following him, so there's still people out there.
And I do believe that he is kind of changed his format to the point where I think he realizes he tried basically taking on the whole Joe community.
Yep.
It's not the brightest thing in the world. I don't know why. And you're in the Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Many of these Joe collectors, they know nothing about toys.
Yep.
And that's fine but they're so naive to everything that's going on. And sometimes that's awesome because you're like, hey, I just want to collect figures. I don't care about the drama. And sometimes you get sucked into it. It's impossible not to.
My definite, I mean, there are several different breaking points with him, I guess, too. But when Carson Metaxas had comments to say on it, I was done because one of the nicest guys in the entire community is making as nicely as possible,
I remember that.
calling you out, and then you just like ignore him or ghost him or treat him like garbage. I'm like, nah, you're not a good human. You can't be. Carson's the best.
Yeah, and that was on Chad's when he talked about it, and he said, and he hadn't, you know, Carson said, this website is for people to use. All I ask is that you give the website credit.
Yep.
He did not. He didn't say give me credit. He said give the website credit.
Yep.
Because it costs him money to run it. So obviously by clicks and by adverbs and stuff like that, that's how they make their money.
Yep.
And I think it's one thing if you were to forget from time to time or maybe not mention it.
Yeah.
But when he said that, he came back at him and acted like, how dare you even ask me to do that? I don't need to do that. It's like,
yeah,
fuck you.
Yep.
And again, I think Carson, I've only talked to him when we had him take a picture with us. But it was he seems like a nice guy. And I feel bad kind of bitching about, Operation Recall and being like, it's been a long time. It's been 2.5 years. He's put the books out. He does Kickstarters, right? But at the same time, it's my money that I've given. I feel bad, saying that because he seems like he's such a good guy.
Yeah.
Toy Binging says, I found this channel when I went down the classified rabbit hole. So I think it's safe to say that at this point, like if you're looking for classified videos, I'm going to pop up somewhere.
Yep.
I think myself and Bobby B are the two that are going to pop up the most. Yojo Jerk has really popped up there.
Yep.
Getting stuff
and
like that.
For a minute, The Amazing was up there too, because he knows his Joe stuff and he loves classified, but he does so many other types of reviews, they kind of overshadow his Joe stuff.
Yeah, I feel like The Amazing has now been, because I don't watch his stuff that often, and there's nothing. It's nothing against him. He doesn't really pop up. I feel like when people talk about The Amazing now, it's just like they're there to see how well he can pose a figure in seconds. And
yeah,
and I've watched it, and you're just like, I feel like I can pose figures pretty well. Then you watch him do it, and you're like. You're like that artist that you just, and then they hand it to you, and you're like,
the guy that solves the
outline the
Rubik's
eyes.
Cube, the guy that solves the Rubik's Cube in 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, he's amazing with that stuff. So
yeah.
And again, there's no reason why I don't watch it other than he doesn't really pop up in the algorithm. I keep meaning to go watch the Road Pig one because someone said like they were on the fence about. His articulations. They saw The Amazing. I'm like, I need to watch what he did with him.
Well, yeah, because that Road Pig is really posable.
It's
crazy what kind of articulation you can get out of this guy.
Yeah, it's such a good figure.
Yeah.
Krusty O'Crow says, I found this channel through controversy. Sweet controversy. If you don't know. Ryan, that's Krusty O'Crow. He absolutely hates the drama. I know it's hard to believe considering one of the people that he does a show with is Aaron the Toy Enhancer, who seems to absolutely love it.
Hey, I'm going to put this one up real quick. When you saw the Yojo Jerk video, you instantly thought it was Jobby and what? Hong? Long, but collects Transformers. Hey, I love watching his videos on 2X because if you watch his videos on 2X, they're hilarious.
Now I'm gonna have to watch one.
I mean, his timing is so much better because he's like, Joe Jerk, and he goes through the whole thing. But when you watch it on regular speed, it's like, yo, Joe Jerk. It just doesn't make the same feeling.
All right, so Toy Matrix has two. He says, I've been collecting toys since 2015, but it wasn't until I started collecting G.I. Joe a few years ago and started watching Joe reviews that I found your channel in the G.I. Joe community. And then he also says, okay. If it had to be a specific channel, I found your channel after watching Yojo Jerk reviews. Then your channel started popping up in my feed. So I know, like with Bobby B, it pops up. I know with Viper Island, it's popping. That one I've been told numerous times because Ken from Toy Connections hates that when you go and look in your analytics, it says like these people also watch your channel, or people that watch your channel also watch these. And Viper Island is always like at the top. It drives him nuts. But it's good to know it's popping up. I know it's popping up after the big guy. The guy that can hold a classified with one hand. You know what I'm talking about. You know him. He doesn't just do classified.
Right.
He's been on a toy kind of mood. He's good. He's friends with Travis now. I want to say it starts with a K, not Kurt. Oh my god, it's gonna drive me nuts now. He's got. Well, I can't. I was about to say a whole wall of figures behind Kyle. Yes, Kyle Peterson.
Yeah, Kyle's a cool dude.
He's like, it doesn't matter what classified is. It could be that Viper 3-pack. He holds it with one hand. I'm like, how goddamn big are your hands? Right? How did I find the channel? I don't remember. It just showed up, kind of like Athlete's Foot.
Well, I mean, when we met at DFW, you probably heard me talking about it, maybe a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that's how you found it.
Yeah. So find your channel through searching for classified series reviews on YouTube. So like Pretzel John, he's newer to the channel. You would know exactly how long he's been here. You probably text me. Matthew really like when I say like, oh, hey, I think this is a new person. I will get a message from Matthew, usually with the stats. And if it's someone that's been here for a while, he'll be like, yeah, he's been here for a little while. But again, the chat's going. I mean, I don't think I talk about this too often. I talk with you, and I know tell other people. I usually have like anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 chats. Now, a lot of it is you guys chatting with each other, and again, that's what makes this like hanging out at a bar or whatever. You're not all just here for me. I'm kind of like the background noise, is what I've kind of decided. But it's good to hear that it's popping up in YouTube channels, and you search for stuff, and if you're not searching your own stuff when you're doing it, you need to. If you're doing like Krusty O Crow, when he wanted to change his name, I'm like, don't. Because there's no other Krusty O Crows. So when you type that in there, your name's the one that pops up.
Yep.
And he took my advice, and I go, even though it doesn't say anything about toys, they see your name, they type it in, it's easy. And Punk with Toys is really easy. I made some very simple words. Boba Wave says the algorithm for sure. But again, I also don't know what everyone's collecting. I hear Boba Wave, I assume you're a Star Wars collector.
No, he just likes the tea.
My kids love that shit. Even mom thinks someone absolutely loves that stuff. So I don't know if we saw Eric Thurman said how he found the channel. I'm gonna go. Wait, hold on. Let's see here. Hold on. Well, we'll read this one here because this was the first one that he said. I'm going to let you read this one.
I was just looking something up real quick. Matthew brought me back around. I wasn't always a subscriber. Yeah, we had some offline chats, some conversations about some things.
But he was here before, and then he left. I don't know why anyone would leave watching this wonderful show. Do you know how hard it is to do a 3-hour show every fucking once a week by yourself? When there's no fucking toy news?
There's always toy news.
There's always 20, but when there's little, I mean, I'm not. It does at time become very difficult, and it is weird because I've had people tell me you don't have to do 3 hours. I'm like, I know, but everyone just kind of expects it. And
Yeah.
and again, I don't think everyone's here to see me, but they're here to hang out. And it's like there's 3 hours on Monday. The fact that so many people are just so damn happy to come in here and chat. And again, it's not just with me and with each other and everything. So this person here, not Rachel. I can't remember how I heard of the show, but it's Roman that keeps me around.
Well, yeah, it keeps a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, I know. Roman was not meant to be part of the show. He was never meant to be part of the show.
Sure.
And at times he's really good about things. He's much better when my daughter's here because he'll just go spend time with her. When my son's here, he'll close the door, so then he's stuck here with me and wants to go out. And so, Radnam found Punk through Hella Dope, and that is exactly where I found Radnam from. And I'd asked him, like, where does the name Radnam come from? If anyone wonders why we call him Radnam, is if I am correct, and if I'm wrong, please tell me, is that the first time that he was on Hella Dope Toys, Ted had spelled his name wrong and had it as Radnam.
Mhm.
And then everyone started calling him Radnam.
It works.
I like it better because it's
Yeah.
very, Diorama is harder to spell. But if you had Radnam and that was your YouTube name, it's easy for people to find.
Yep.
D Griff, I discovered you by searching for classified reviews. Wade Howlitzson. Now, I know Wade's been around for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
I found you through a Valaverse review. I stayed because you were honest and didn't apologize or bitch out. I've said this before. The Valaverse figures, the first ones that I reviewed, Series 1, that was when the channel started picking up.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all due to the fact that when Greg let me borrow them, that was the beginning of that too. Because I wanted to buy some, but I was like, man, $32 for a figure. I don't know anything about them. And I was like, everything I hear is either they're the greatest figures ever or they're the biggest piece of shit ever. It has to be somewhere in the middle.
Yep.
I can promise you, if you go back, it's been what, 3 years now? 3 years, and you look up for Valaverse reviews, they're either going to be they're the biggest piece of shit or they're the greatest figure. Like, how can it not be how there's no middle ground? And were they perfect? No. Did they have some issues? Yeah. But were they enough to keep me coming back and buying more? Yeah. And they've gotten better every series.
Mm-hmm.
I know right now no one will hear that because
They don't want to listen to that.
yeah. But they make good figures. There's something very special about somebody that will go out and I'm not saying so much listen to what the fans are saying that they should do, but listen to the things that they have a problem with and see if there's something that needs to be addressed. Because Bobby's already said he doesn't listen to what the fans say to change things, although he has numerous times. But he looks at this stuff and he fixed those figures are way too tight. But when you come out on the attack on other companies and then you have the same problem, that's when there's a lot of issues. Same Time Toy says, I found Punk from Aaron the Toy Enhancer. Aaron the Toy Enhancer found me just because I made a comment on his video, told him to keep up the good work. 44D2. I don't think I've ever told you this before. I absolutely love your name. It's so cool. at least to me, it seemed like it's a play on Star Wars. I don't know if there's any meaning to it, but I think it's just done so well. So every time I see it, I'm like so happy to see you here. I started collecting classified early this year. Your reviews helped me decide what figures I wanted to, which ones to pass on. Wait, you didn't just want to buy them all? Wait, we can buy select. Wait, is that true?
No, no, that's not true.
It's not for me. You know, the only figures that I don't have were those
Movie?
the field variant ones.
Oh, okay.
How can you not have the movie ones? They were fucking $5 eventually. Eventually. Like, it took forever. PNC, who is one of the earliest channel members, one of the earliest people that subscribed. I was just getting into classified and watching random channels, and this one stuck. And I still wonder why. I still want what it was that made people want to stick around. It never. I didn't expect to be here. You know, and I remember telling you, before I said I don't want to be doing lives 2 years from now with a schedule and have 10 to 15 people. Right. I want this to constantly be growing. You know, and you know, we will regularly hit, you know, in the 90s. I think we were like mid 80s today. You know, it veered. If there's more Joe news, I know there's going to be more people that tune in. But yeah, it's one of those. I wanted to grow, and that's why I always reached out. And I'm glad that there are people, and we see that there's a lot of people that have veered off.
Yeah,
and it's understandable. A lot of times, YouTube just stops showing you the algorithm. You miss a couple episodes because you're busy, and next thing you know, it's not showing it anymore. And then you're like, "Holy shit!" Like I totally forgot about this guy 4 months later.
Yeah,
and then you realize how much you actually missed. Liquid Identity. I found Punk around the same time VI posted Mace Doc Windu.
You mean Doc? That was Doc. Didn't you know that was Doc?
Punk has consistent reviews, mostly valid criticisms, and doesn't push disinformation or hype. Man, I could imagine like making shit up just to try and get views and more clicks. I mean, I think I give enough to, you know, that's what I say. Like don't make shit up to hate me. Like there's a reason. Like you can find something to hate me for. Okay, so all right, here's Eric Thurman says, I was sick and sleeping, and the algorithm put me in your live chat.
Love that one.
Joking about Tony Romo having the same name as the football player. I'd never been in a live chat before. So let me tell you something about Tony Romo. So I hope Tony's in here. I hope he's not saving a life right now.
Well, he was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but yeah.
All right. So Travis asked me to be on a toy kind of mood. Okay, cool. So I'm chatting with him back and forth, like, because he's asking me questions because he wants to get his slides and everything ready. And he says, he's watching the Patriots game because he's a Patriots fan because he's from Massachusetts or Boston, right?
Boston.
And I said, "Oh, that's too bad. You gotta listen to Tony Romo." And he was like, "What?" I'm like, "Man, like, you gotta listen to Tony Romo," because I knew Tony was doing that game.
Yeah.
And Travis comes back, he goes, "Don't be talking about a toy kind of mood, guys, like that." And we were talking about Tony Romo's awful. And he's like, "Dude, like seriously," like, I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude?" And he goes, "Oh, you're talking about the game." I'm like, "Who the fuck are you talking about?" And he goes, "Oh, that's one of the guys on our show, and he's going to be on the show with us." this is something that Tony knows this. I thought KJ was Tony Romo. So to my surprise, when I was expecting the black guy backstage, I'm like, who the fuck is this? And come to find out, Tony Romo is an actual Cowboys fan, but not because of the name. His dad was a Cowboys fan, so he was a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
So that is how that whole joke came. But I thought Tony Romo was KJ. I don't know why. I just thought it was. Coco Smith. I'm sorry. What's Coco? Coco
Nice.
Smooth, the casual collector. I got to Lawrence because of G.I. Joe classified videos and Valorverse. Again, that's the shit that just makes me laugh. So Boba Wave says algorithm for sure, most likely because of Full Force. So one of the reasons why I put up the poll here was these were really the three. Geek Dead Life I was in a lot. And I don't promote the channel, and I don't believe you should ever promote your channel on someone else's. I think we're in agreement for that, right?
Yeah.
I hate that. But you think that people would eventually be like, oh, hey, but because if someone says like, hey, I saw your video, I don't like if someone says, hey, I saw your video, I don't care if someone responds back to them. But don't come in and be like, hey, did you see my classified? Like, no, you don't do that. But looking at this, it looks like there's not a lot of people that find you in other chats. It's just the algorithm that puts you on their screen.
Yeah.
Which is shocking because I still think there's a lot of people on the Full Force that, even though I've been in those chats, have no idea that I have a channel. And it's kind of like, I'm at the point that I think I can safely say this without sounding like an arrogant prick, that I'm one of the bigger G.I. Joe channels. So it kind of shocks me when people don't realize it. It doesn't bother me. It just kind of like, man. All right. Just Jeff. Legend Series interview with you in general fucks this guy's deal. Jeff, I would like you to elaborate on that a little bit more. I would just, because I know you're associated with some people that do not like me. I know that. And that's fine because I don't expect anyone to dislike someone because I don't like them, or why someone would dislike me because someone doesn't like me. But I would like to know, like, if you're still here to elaborate on fucks this guy's deal. Because I kind of have an idea, but I would like to know a little bit more. And here it is. G78, you were recommended after watching a Viper Island video. I'm sorry, why were you watching a Viper Island video again? All right, so hold on. I want to skip to Jeff's comments that he just made. So
Yeah.
He says nobody tells me who I can watch and enjoy. And you know what?
Yeah.
Damn right. Because this guy right here, this guy right here watches all kinds of shit that I'm like, why do you still fucking watch that? But again, he enjoys it, so it doesn't really bother me. But like I agree. And he's been with me from day one. And Jeff says, I heard war stories, wanted to judge you on my own. And you know what? That's all that's what I ask anyone of anyone on anything. Like, I may have, when it came to like Viper Island and even Shark News, sometimes you just kind of put it out there like, hey, before you watch that, Mike Zero is the perfect. If you want to watch Mike Zero, that's a Star Wars guy. People don't know. You just know that some things that you should not take as that it's gospel. But if you enjoy his content, and I say the same thing about Viper Island, if you enjoy his content, go watch it. I would say go say the same thing about Shark News, but he self-deleted.
Don't say that. Don't go there.
He self-deleted his channel and
There
his
you go.
Instagram. All right.
Okay.
I'm
okay.
sorry. Complete. How is it that we have to now apologize for saying I used the wrong words by making things but yeah, I'm glad, and I really do mean that, because again, I know there's a lot of people that don't like me, and that's fine. We're not all supposed to like each other in this world, but YouTube is a huge world. That's why, like, the whole me putting a copyright strike against Shark News just infuriated me, because I have other things in my life to do that I wouldn't. Again, like, my job is never to make you not watch someone else. It's to make you watch me.
Yep.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the big differences in philosophy in a lot of people, and you can see it in the YouTube world sphere with all the fighting that's going on right now, with some people that are attacking other people because they're bigger channels than they are, or they became bigger channels in a shorter amount of time, and so there's a lot of jealousy and a lot of ego and a lack of self-reflection. And I think you do self-reflect, and you're always asking, how can you be better? How can you draw more people in? And the attitude is, again, this space is big enough for everybody.
Yeah.
You just have to vie for people's attention. You have to do something that's different, that's entertaining, that's engaging, that builds traction and a following. And you've done a fairly good job of that. So yeah, keep up the good work.
Thank you. And like I say, like Yojo Jerk and Toy Games, they overlap with me now.
Yeah.
My job is not to make anyone not watch their stuff. My job is to make you want to come and watch me. If that means you're going to watch me on the replay, if that means, hey, I'm going to leave their live stream to come and watch yours, but then I'm going to go watch. My job is not to try and make you not watch theirs. It's just to make you want to come in and spend time here. And again, it's done through everyone in this chat. Because if I had a bunch of assholes in the chat, I mean, who'd want to stick around here? So yeah. Todd C. I found Punk through YouTube algorithm. Very anticlimactic. Stayed because you weren't overly bashing on Hasbro each week, while it was obviously a lot of YouTubers were for clickbait and views. Do people do that?
My channel is under attack.
Random says, I found Larry when I was searching for fans of Green Day. Matthew, please block him. Here's another one. Met Larry at Colin Cowherd's fan club event. So, when I say about, if you don't know who Colin Cowherd is, I think he's one of the worst sports guys on TV. And Colin Cowherd will literally be like, I was wrong about this, but I was more right than wrong. No, you were fucking wrong. That's this whole cat slayer thing with me. Right? Like, it was not it didn't fund. They just made it fun. I was more right than wrong. I pulled that directly from Colin Cowherd. Right? That's exactly how he would do it. Because I refuse to admit that I was wrong about it. Right? We'll be clipping this part of it out.
Good thing it roboted.
Legend Series says, I found you through the algorithm. You were doing a Monday night toy ramblings. Now, it is interesting when someone finds me through this show rather than one of my reviews. And I'm surprised how many people see my reviews and have no clue that I'm doing live streams.
Yep.
I'm like, wow, you do live streams? I'm like, I have like 3 fucking hours every Monday. And unlike most people, I missed one day this year. And that was coming back from Joe Fest. Or did we miss the first? No, I don't think we missed the first.
No, I think that was the only one.
Yeah, and I think the only one I probably won't even miss it. I'll probably just come in and do like a half hour. Will be after the streamathon,
Yeah.
just so I can kind of give like a breakdown of how much. But the Thursday with a friend is going to be people that were on the stream that want to jump on and just kind of do a kind of like a Punk's Pit, but I guess it's not technically Punk's Pit. Sean Forrester. I always say Foster or Forrest.
Game over, man. Game over.
Thank you. I found you from the Full Force. You were commenting in a stream. Had to check out the channel. And see, I really thought that there would be more from the Full Force, but at 6%, it just tells me that when you're sitting in when you're sitting in YouTube and like in other people's chats and you're telling people come check out my stuff, not that that's what I was doing. People don't do it. Some of us get really pissed off about it.
Yeah.
I'm someone. I'll let you read this guy because he's your partner. Not his partner, guys.
Found your channel through my cousin, 3-star draw, who still hasn't changed his name. He was watching you and participating in the chat, even though you're a Michigan fan. I like that you're not a bullshitter. Became a channel member.
You know, I'm interested. Where is it? Has 3-star? Has Darren even come in here and said how he found the channel?
I thought I saw one from him. If I did, I started, but I don't.
Huh.
I'm not sure. I don't think I have seen him tonight.
Yeah, Ted Knight, who I know is fairly new, right? I know we've seen him, and I know you're not brand new, but you're fairly new to the channel. And your name stands out because of Ted Darklaw,
Right.
but it's like Ted Knight. It's very. It starts and then it ends really quick. It's like if people would decide to call you TN because like we just want it shorter. Like now people, they got a shortened touchdown for stuff.
8:26, 24 is the first ones that he commented on anyway.
Okay. Yeah, so he's I don't recall exactly, probably searching classified. I think I already said that. But thank you very much. And again, I want to make everyone, that's one of my biggest goals, to make sure everyone feels included.
I thought he popped in for a second, but I wasn't sure. I'm pretty sure I starred his comment.
I know Darren was in.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea how he found the channel. And I know I'm by far his favorite YouTuber. So I would like to know. And my moderator says, I found you through searching for classified reviews. Thought you were an asshole, but now I know you are, and I love you for it. I didn't think Ed knew who I was. Because if I remember correctly, I don't even know how I found Hello Dope Toys. Oh, I know exactly. I found Hello Dope Toys from It's Chad because they did their Sunday night thing. So when Chad was done, he sent people over there. That's how I found out about Hello Dope Toys. I also would have found out about that Sunny guy, but like shortly after they started doing it, Sunny stopped doing live streams. So because Chad started doing he started doing Sundays, and when they would send it over to Hello Dope Toys, I would tune in and watch Geek Dead Life. But every now and then I would tune over, and slowly I stopped watching Geek Dead Life. Nothing against Jay or anyone, but when you start to know some of these people and you get to know the chat, you tend to veer on over.
Yep.
And I know I saw Ed through there. And then I guess we got to hit this real quick.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Now I'm like those big bougie ones where it takes me forever to read a super chat. This is why I wanted Matthew on here, because if you start reading all the start stuff, you totally miss the chat. And I have no idea what's going on in the chat. So I apologize to anyone. I'm not ignoring you. Although if you thought I was ignoring you by reading all this, you'd be fucking crazy. I see 3-star is here right now. Cream, get on the top. Cream, you cop. Cream, don't you stop. That must be a song or something.
I mean, I'm sure Pop could sing it for you.
I think I tried singing it, but I don't know what I was doing. Okay, Beardy McBeardison just did a deep dive on my YouTube history. I subscribed on April 6th, 2023, but it seems like I didn't do anything else on YouTube that day. I must have been specific figure review. I don't even know how to go that deep on it. Oh, okay. So then you just found the first video I saw was a 3D printed ass. I must have been searching for G.I. Joe 3D printing. Let me tell you a fucking story about that. So that 3D asp, the design was from Mark to Toys. I met Mark at Joe Fest. Wonderful guy.
Dude, that guy's awesome. Yeah.
He is so, and he knew who I was. That was even more shocking. Like I thought he was just bullshitting me, but he like totally knew who I was. And so here was the thing. My buddy Greg, who does 3D printed stuff, he asked if I wanted to review it. I said, "Oh yeah, sure," because he actually gave it to me because it wasn't done. I was like, "Oh, can I review it?" He said, "Well, let me check." So he checked with Mark, and Mark was like, "Yeah, that's fine. I don't care." Awesome. But then he also had other stuff that he had bought from Steve's Toys. You probably heard me say I don't like Steve's Toys, and this is the reason why. So if anyone's wondering, and I actually just took a shot of what he printed, and that was the tricycle for the Dreadnoks. What is the name of that thing? I have no idea. I have it. I have the original. So anyway, Steve was very vigilant that you can't sell his stuff, although he's taking it from Hasbro, so it's not even his stuff.
Or Super 7, whatever.
Yeah, Super 7. And he, Greg had asked him if it was cool if I review it, and he's like, "Well, I'm not so sure about it." And I read he sent me the messages, like how he read it. So he said, "Well, he's going to be doing Mark Toys Asp, And again, if you go back and watch it, I give all the credit to Mark, for the design. The same thing that I did for Render Boy when I did the his 3D mech. And after he saw it, he reached out to Greg, and he said, "Yeah, it's okay if he does it, but let him know that he can't say that he bought it. He can't say that you printed it. He can't say that he's selling it, that it's my design." And I went, and I saw the screenshot of the conversation. And Greg said, "Well, if you want to do it, you can." I'm like, fuck that guy. He was a total fucking dick about it. All I want to do was fucking going to review his fucking thing to push out his fucking print so he could sell more. And I'm like, fuck him. So if you ever hear why I don't like Steve's Toys, that's the reason why. And maybe he's changed. But I was like, fuck you. Like, what a prick. I know some people know that story. I think Matthew knows it. But thank you for watching the Asp one. So as you can see, all I was doing was trying to push out someone else's for what they're doing. And you know what? I understood. Like if he was like, "Hey, you know what? You're really not supposed to be selling these things. You're not supposed to be giving away." I think that's I bought it. I should be able to do whatever the hell I want with it.
Yep.
And Greg, sorry if they get you in trouble, but you know me well enough. So that's my story about that. All right. Should have done behind a paywall, but I don't give a shit. Stanley Eberhardt, I found your link. I'm sorry. I found you via a link in Jeremy Kimberlin's Joe group. Maybe I do have dyslexia. Well, I do post in that classified video, that classified, and I asked them if that's okay. And I'm glad. There's been a lot of people that will be like, "Oh, I know who you are," which I'm kind of shocked because there's a lot of people that are like conversating with me and they don't realize who I am. um, GI Pro. I only started watching because I heard you take steroids.
Oh, that was a pretty epic stream.
Wrong kind of steroids. You know how pissed I was.
Yes, we all know how pissed you were.
If you would have seen me wake up because I was sick on that Saturday when I got all those copyright strikes from fucking Viper Island. Oh my God. I mean, I literally woke up. I saw that. I messaged Chaz and he goes, "Yeah, I just got hit with a whole bunch and so did Jersey Maniac." I didn't have a topic for the day. I literally marched myself upstairs and thumbed out a fucking topic.
Yep.
Woo! Now that was on Saturday. Monday was the show.
And so when people are talking about that whole Viper Island blow up, I mean, it started way before the Vala guys got involved with it, and Punk was kind of the tipping of the iceberg when that whole Instagram thing happened with him and Chaz and all that stuff.
Now, and I'm not gonna lie, I made memes about him.
Yep.
It was the Doc one that really pissed him off.
Yes,
because I told him, I said, even the subs you bought want to like unsub to you.
How do you not recognize Sam Jackson? I'm just saying. How did you not see that?
He's in every goddamn fucking movie. All right. So G.I. Joe Bro says, "I was searching for reviews of a figure I was thinking about getting and found yours. I bought it and it was my first classified figure and got me back into G.I. Joe."
Which one was it? Which figure?
That's strange. So you had the name G.I. Bro, but you weren't collecting it. That's odd.
He just wasn't into classified. He wasn't into that 6-inch scale. I don't know.
All right. Punisher Bill says, and Bill's been around for a long time. I was watching Shartimus Prime bomb on the classified G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
He sucked bad. Then you popped up. It was love at first sight. I really liked your reviews. Well, Bill, you stay over there on that side of the country. No, you have supported me for quite some time, and I do appreciate it. Again, I appreciate every single one of you guys. And I like Shartimus. I had him on. It's the only time that I've talked to him, but I mean, I've conversed with him before, and he's always been someone that's gotten back to me. I know a lot of people seem to have their thoughts about him, but again, it goes for the same thing. I say, like, when people don't like me, I mean, it shouldn't cause Matthew not to like those people. My issues are my issues, right? But hey, that's how you.
We've all got issues, and the new issue of Conan came out last week, so it's really good.
How do you buy? If you Google it, you'll find out.
Yeah.
Now YouTube has a promotional thing, which I did a whole video on it. You can go watch it. I cannot believe that video didn't do better. I thought that they were getting some sort of algorithm.
Yeah.
But there's other people that have done it. You can do a promotion and you can buy views, and by that, the way that it pops up, especially on phones, people just have to hit subscribe. They don't have to watch anything. And that's how a lot of these people have been doing it now.
Yeah, and Shartimus only reviewed classified because it was getting so popular. He thought it would give his channel a boost, but since he didn't know what he was doing, he stopped doing it. He started putting it on his Patreon channels, and then he just stopped doing it altogether, I think.
I think a lot of people have done. I think a lot of people have jumped on the classified because of that.
Yeah,
and it's smart in some ways. Like you said, I wasn't reviewing figures. It wasn't like I was doing YouTube. The only reason why I even started doing videos, and believe me, I'm not someone that ever really wanted to be on film. God knows I'm on video all the time now. Was because I kept searching for these figures, and no one was reviewing them. Probably because no one could get them. But no one was comparing them to the O-rings, and I didn't know anything about the industry at the time.
Yeah.
So, the way that I had the figures. So if I was able to compare them, and that's why, as it was one of the things that was mentioned that, going next year, like what I could do for the channel, someone said, hey, reviewing older figures. I want to go back and do that because there's so many details that I didn't know that now and now I have a fairly large audience, and they're not time sensitive. Yeah. So I could do a batch of them, in one day, especially when it gets cold and shitty out, and just have them loaded up and drop one or two a week. Yeah,
dude, you're gonna be swamped with all the stuff coming out between now and the end of the year. So I
don't know. What's coming out? Well, when Monster Force comes out, understand it's going to be locking myself in for a weekend, dropping. But I don't see Bobby B will just drop all 3 videos when he gets them. I stagger mine just because I know how that YouTube algorithm works, and if you do more than 3 videos in a 24-hour period, it pushes them back. But at the same time, I like to have them spaced out.
Yeah.
And did 3-Star ever say how he found the channel?
I saw him pop in here. He's commented a couple times. If you haven't gone through it in the starred ones yet, then I didn't see it.
No, I went through all of them. So
yeah.
Darren, I want to know how you found the channel. Okay, so Jeff says Roid Rage. Have you ever been on Prednisone? Let me tell you a story about Prednisone. Now, Jeff, I know you're newer to the channel. I mean, you know who I am because you thought I was. Well, you didn't think I was an asshole, but you had heard that I'm an asshole. And this is probably all true too. So my ex has had 4 back surgeries, bad back surgeries, but she's had other health issues, other back like you don't just have back surgeries, you have back issues that you end up in the hospital. She's had her thyroid removed. She had heart surgery. After we split up, she had to have an emergency appendectomy. She spent a week in the hospital where she had a fever, and when they broke the fever, her blood pressure crashed. And when they stabilized her blood pressure, her fever went up, and then they broke her fever. And I went, I'm not a fucking doctor, but whatever you're doing to do the one thing is fucking causing the other thing, right, Matthew?
Yeah.
You're a doctor, right? I didn't. And it was pissing me off because I'm like, dude, I don't need to be a doctor to know that, like, whatever you're doing is causing this. So don't do that again. Anyway, she's had a lot of issues. And she's been on prednisone numerous times. And she hates it because it makes her gain weight. It makes you feel hot. It makes you feel hungry, but you're not hot, but you're not hungry, but you want to eat. I'm relatively healthy. Well, I had an issue where I had my tooth pulled. I want to say this was when I had my tooth pulled. And about 3 weeks later, I broke out. And because I was on penicillin. And the doctor said, you're probably just allergic to penicillin. And it just stayed dormant until finally everything kind of overflowed. And I mean, when I say I blew up, I went to the ER. And when I got there, because I was dehydrated, and she dropped me off because she was on her way to take our daughter somewhere, right by the hospital. I'm like, just drop me off. And I remember I'm sitting there like in the chair, and they're putting me in. And she goes, so are you here for anything other than your face swollen? And I go, you can tell. And she goes, but my whole face had swollen to a point that it just looked normal at this point. And not normal to me, but like normal how. So anyway, I got put on prednisone. Now Susan, that's my ex, she'd been on it numerous times, and she had told me the stories about it. And I'm sitting up here in my room, in our room at the time, and I'm hot, and I'm hungry, and I'm like, I'm so hot, but I'm not hot. I'm so I just want to eat everything, but I don't want to eat it. I'm so hungry. And she goes, "That's it right there. That is how I feel all the time when I'm on that fucking shit." And I'm like, "This is awful." She's like, "I told you. You didn't know. And you didn't believe me." I'm so sorry. Like, so I was on prednisone when the whole Viper Island thing, when he first struck me. It's not when I lost the channel. That was the first time that he had struck me. He struck me later on. That's what took down the channel.
The Instagram.
The Instagram, yeah, I'm sorry. The Instagram channel. And that is my story about prednisone. Matthew, you're a doctor. I'm sure you can probably agree that that is what prednisone can do to you.
Man, all these things, they all have side effects. And as a steroid of that magnitude, yeah, for sure. It's going to heat you up. It's going to make you hungry. It's going to make you pissed off and cranky. What's up, Joe? Thanks for popping in. How did you find Punk's channel? We've been talking about you tonight, by the way. Were your ears burning?
All right, so 3-star finally says, "You showed up after several Viper Island videos. I saw Punk and was curious. I like your honesty and dark humor, and that you started from in package. Then realized you actually opened and reviewed toys you own." Well, I also open up toys I don't own of other people's.
It's true. You do get a lot of other people's stuff to open. When's that ghillie suit coming out?
Yeah, about that. 3-star says prednisone is. I was gonna do it. I was gonna start it this week, and then I didn't because it was nice out. I'm like, fuck.
Oh yeah.
It was perfect weather here. I think it's supposed to be in the 70s on Saturday, so I want to film it. Like I want to decide how I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it like your normal.
Right.
I want to actually go out.
Put them in the environment, see what they look like.
Yeah, and see like which ones are the easiest to spot, the hard, and do maybe a couple different spots.
Yeah,
I'm not good with doing voiceovers, as in I've never done it before. Or not really. I mean, I just done a little voiceover, but I do want to do it, and then I think they all have their merits, but.
They all have something that, I mean, I've seen them look good in certain situations, every one of them. So
yeah, it's just, again, when someone gets mad when I call the one a Swiffer, it's because I'm sorry, it looks like a fucking Swiffer. Go look at a Swiffer and don't tell me it doesn't look the same. And everyone else agrees, or else they wouldn't be in all these blind boxes.
It was only the Arctic one that was guaranteed.
No. I'm not saying anything.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
Pop Blender says, "Punk, my super was the lyrics to Cream by Prince. Every time you play Welcome to the Creamery, I can't help but think of Prince in that song." The only Cream that I know is Cream song is from Old Dirty Bastard, is it? And don't ask me why I know that.
Well, I mean, there was an entire band called Cream starring Eric Clapton.
Okay,
I
do know that, because that I do know. Wait a minute, you can comment on people's super chats? That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
I did not know that. I'm looking over here like, wait a minute.
Joe, always good things. We were talking Mythic Legions and we were talking about the customizable army builders from Legions Con that's coming out and all that kind of stuff. And I said, you were going to get all of them so that you can make all the different customs, or at least try to.
Because I truly do believe that the biggest cult following right now in toys is Mythic Legions. And you know the difference between the Mythic Legions cult and the Valaverse cult? Mythic Legions cult actually buy them.
Oh, there's a lot of people buying Valaverse stuff.
There are a lot of people buying Valaverse. There are a lot of those people, though, that say how much they love it, and they're not buying nearly as much. So the Mythic Legions people, man, like they... And again, it has nothing to do with, before anyone runs and says anything, it has nothing to do with Valaverse not doing well. There are people, and Bobby B and I have talked about it, that when he came out with his exclusive, people saying that they don't have, I don't have enough action points. How can you not have enough action points if you collected them? All you do is buy one of each figure, and then you would have more than enough points for that thing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that I think are in the group say how much they love it, but they're not really. But it's classified the same way. But Mythic Legions,
Yeah.
they're crazy. and Joe's not denying it.
No, yeah, he's getting all that Mythic Legion stuff.
And Jeff says, I buy as much Valaverse shit as I can, but I don't miss the ring, as it were.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can't spend your life savings, right? I mean, you know, and you know, he makes good stuff. And the Elite Praetorian that I got, I really like that one. That may end up in my top 10 of the year. But my top 10 is getting really tight right now.
Yeah, I don't even know if I want to do top 10 videos.
I've been creating a spreadsheet all year, and so every quarter I say these are the ones that I got for this quarter, and this is how I'd rank them, and so on and so forth.
It's hard.
Yeah,
and that's why, like last year, I broke it up between classified, and that includes the retro ones, Eric Thurman, and all the other figures. But I only ranked, and I can't speak for you, but I think I only ranked figures I bought.
Yes, no. I only rank figures that I have in my collection. That's number one. Number two, I try to only put in figures that I haven't modified. So I always do an addendum saying, "Hey, I modded these, and these are like my favorite things ever, like my Storm Shadow that I had to modify and stuff like that." Whereas that retro one was so great, but I had to switch out some of his weapons and gear.
Yeah. But yeah, it's. They become time consuming, especially when I do as many videos as I do. But people like them. I mean, that's the whole thing. They like the engagement.
Yeah.
You know, again, as weird as it is, I still have a hard time believing that people want to watch me and hear what my opinion is. I mean, because I've said it's about. That's why I'm not an autograph seeker. You know, no one's better than me. I'm no better than anyone else. One day I'll get into why when I started thinking that. That'll be one of those ones you go, oh, here. That's when I actually get deep on shit. But like, I've never been an autograph seeker, so you know that's why when you're like at DFW, all these people, I'm like, I don't give a shit about those people. You know, I'm going here to meet Tony and Travis, and Ed again.
Yeah.
But again, DFW is like right around the corner from you, so it's hard for you not to. But I mean, you going to Georgia the week before was bullshit.
It was Father's Day weekend. It was my dad. I mean, come on.
You should just stay.
I didn't pay for that trip.
But yeah, so but we are going on 3.5
yeah,
hours.
I've already had a 12-hour day before this, so I've got to get some sleep.
Yeah, I got the day tomorrow. Again, I like to, I don't know. I hope you guys kind of get a kick out of some of this stuff. It's not really, I just like to know how people found me, what it is that made people stick around. Because if you're not looking back at that, if I'm not thinking about that, then you just kind of go off and you do your own thing. And next thing you know, like people are like, where's this guy at? He's not even, this isn't what he started as. This is what he wants to be. And everything has to evolve, right? I'm not going to stay the course with something just because everyone else wants me to. But at the same time, you don't want to become something that you never planned on doing.
Yeah.
Yes, Club Tarkin. Well, Club Tarkin will be in full effect as long as I make it to Joe Fest next year. Yeah, 4 hours or bust. No Johnny.
Hey, yeah, I mean, we're almost there.
I know. Machine Man says integrity. I think that's what I try and have integrity. But again, I like to just look back and figure things out.
Yep.
And again, you guys are the voice of, I guess I'm the voice of you guys. I guess is a better way to put it. And again, I think a lot of people.
Not that he speaks for you, but
yeah. I'm literally your voice, and sometimes I completely butcher your words. Or just butcher you guys could spell shit wrong. I wouldn't even fucking know. Joe says the shows are always fun, and in a fun chat, I would come back if I wasn't having a good time, or I wouldn't come back is what he meant. And not Rachel says, whatever you're doing is working. Keep up the good work, Punk. Thank you. No, and again, it's stuff like this that I can call you not Rachel, and it's not like, you know what, he's just being very disrespectful, and I'm not gonna, because I didn't realize it. Everyone kept telling me like, that's not Rachel, right? I'm like, no, I don't. No, they just created it's his wife's account, and I'm like, okay, well, that's why I started calling you not Rachel or Fatred. He didn't get mad about me not saying Fat Red Foo, which Fatred just feels like.
With not Rachel Salinas, I was pretty sure I knew who it was, and I started commenting in some chats and tagging the name, and he never responded to it in the Full Force chats or other things. So I was like, am I right? I'm pretty sure I'm right. And then he finally confirmed it. But he missed the chats that I tagged him in or was talking to him.
Well, that's Mendoza, right?
Oh yeah.
He had his wife's and then I started people referring to him.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to insult anyone because there are a couple people in the community that I've been told that are either transgender. Mm-hmm. And again, that's not. We're here to talk toys.
Yeah. I
don't want to insult someone.
Right.
Because people can be insulted so damn easily today. So I'm going to refer to you as she until I know you're not. It's kind of like I was saying. I will never say a woman is pregnant until she tells me. Mm-hmm. I don't care if I see that fucking baby coming out. I ain't saying that, right? Because then if they say I'm not pregnant and they're just fat, you're like, shit. So I'll never go down that road. That baby could be popping out, and I'd be like, umbilical cord, baby's all completed out. I'll be like, wow, yeah, you look really good. Like, oh, you're pregnant. I didn't even realize the baby they're connected to you still. Why is that umbilical cord so nasty to cut? Anyway, Sherlock says, just respect my IG boundaries.
That was also a funny story.
That's your story to tell, but goddamn, was that good.
Yeah, Joey. I think you told me that the other night. I thought that was interesting too.
I think I'm gonna have to get one of those just because.
Get one of which? The goblins?
The swigs.
Oh, the swigs. Yeah. Well, are you going to Legion's Con?
No.
Oh, well, you should. It's not too far.
It is too far. Good Lord. It's like I drove there last year. I won't be going to Jersey this year because the contest that I qualified for work, when we were doing it, my boss was like, hit control, and he was telling me that I could zoom out so I wouldn't have to keep moving it.
Yeah.
Well, because they have everything locked down, you could do like a control F, I think, to screenshot it. Well, once you hit control, it dumped me out, and you only can take it that one time.
Oh.
So he was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I'm like,
Oh.
it doesn't matter. I mean, I think that was the week, because the week that I went, it was the week after Legion's Con, and I would have known. I would have probably. Well, I don't know if I really could have adjusted it because I already had the whole week off the week after that because it's Thanksgiving. So anyway, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you very much, Matthew. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, you're not the first guest. You're actually like the first guest that someone I actually asked to come on and help me. But you've been with me since the beginning. Matter of fact, I believe you were the first person in the chat on my first live stream. The one that I had to kill because I didn't know how to stop the music.
And I believe I was at Disney at the time that was happening. I was on the bus back to the resort.
Were you?
Yeah.
If anyone wants to see something funny, go back and watch my first live stream. I had music playing through StreamYard, and I didn't know how to stop it.
Yep. And I think that's how I found it, is because I just popped open my YouTube and there was somebody live. And so I said, oh, let's see who's live.
It was so bad. Well, you know what? That was the pre-one for the Black Friday giveaway.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole purpose of it. And oh fuck, that was so bad. It was so damn bad. Anyway, thank you guys all. Thank you for the super chats. We will see you guys all Thursday, where I will have this guy, Kenzo's Creations. Again, thank you very much for joining us for now a 3.5 hour tour. All right, see everyone.
Good night.
On Thursday. Oh, wait a minute, we forgot to tell where they can find you tomorrow.
Tomorrow at what time is it? 9 Central, 10 Eastern, on Pop Blender's channel. We'll be talking about pop culture. We'll be talking about The Penguin and Tulsa King and some other good stuff. Some movies that we watched, Wild Robot and maybe Joker 2. So we'll be chatting about all that fun stuff. So have a good night.
All right. Bye, guys.
Idiots! Incompetent buffoons! What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought! Are you watching that show again? Yes. Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, the perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture, news, discussions, and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiper, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode. And hit that bell notification.